Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tabletop Notch presents Bloody Be the Turnips. Woo! Last week we had our inaugural Campaign 3 episode, and we have a case on the docket. We'll flash that leather there, your IMP badges. Officially a part of the IMP.
Choose it?
No. Cade Barrett has already lost.
There's no way. There's no way.
The sending stone is burned out.
That's lube.
There was already a pool going for
Did you
who's going
keep it
to
in your
lose
binder?
it.
I got it.
Okay, all right.
Safe.
But we've got a case all picked out. The team has met each other, even though they've been relegated into sort of a basement of the training facility. But we're headed off to Ahaltsu to find, hopefully, the missing Deshi Perim, a politician in a small town there. But before we get into it, let's do a little run around. We'll talk, and then we'll dive in.
7 p.m. Eastern, which is right now. Twitch.tv/tabletopnotch. Thank you for joining us here and now in the chat, online. That's where we like to be. And the evidence is that we're here. There's other ways to watch and listen.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. Exactly.
We like hard evidence here.
Yes, on BBTT. Tuesday, you'll be able to listen to a podcast wherever you podcast. Friday, you can watch the YouTube video at youtube.com/tabletopnotch. You could get that earlier, though. If you are a Patreon subscriber or a YouTube member, they get all sorts of stuff. But one of the main things is that you get early access to the VOD on Tuesday, same as the podcast day. But yeah, lots of fun between Sundays.
Speaking of fun, our name is so fun. Tabletop Notch is such a fun name. Sorry, this is a hard pivot.
No, I love it.
Tabletop Notch, it's a fun, snappy name, and you can Google it and then find us on all sorts of different social media platforms. And give us a like, and give us a follow, and come along for this incredible journey.
Say, Talon,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had a lot of fun watching Tabletop Notch's last stream,
Did you
but I don't
really?
have anybody to talk about it with.
Aw.
What should I do?
Get a friend.
Find some people.
Get a fucking life.
Get out.
Oh, no!
Well, where you could be is a lovely place. And if you need I was gonna try to riff off that, but it's discord.gg/tabletopnotch is where it is.
The charts
Oh.
role play.
That's where you go. That's where you go. And honestly, from last week's episode, you guys were going really hard in the episode discussion.
Yeah.
So much so that I was like, can I be reading this right now?
I felt like I
was like, I don't know. I was like, you guys are brilliant.
Spoilers for us.
So really good job on that. It's so cool to see you guys just engaging with the stuff that Matt had put together. So continue doing that because you guys are obviously quite talented.
Yeah, we
I
put
will
this
have to
case
be-
file on
Yeah.
Discord.
I
What?
will have to be cognizant of the fact that between episodes, everything's being scoured through
Yeah.
for clues
Yeah.
and details.
There's a lot of agents you don't know about.
Yeah.
who are
It's actually
contributing.
like a
Everyone should
100
change their name to be Agent something.
Oh, that's so cute.
Agent Flatulent.
Hell yeah.
If you've got Discord Nitro, or just change your full Discord
Yeah.
name to whatever agent name you want. And colleagues, when you're on your work server, if you have one, they'll be like, "Who's agent?" I'm not
You don't have the clearance to know who that is.
Yeah.
I was just realizing I looked up and on the preview monitor, I really liked your shirt, Erica.
Oh my god, this old thing?
Yeah.
Well, this is from the TTN merch store. If you look us up, you're also gonna find our merch store. We got all kinds of stuff, things you can wear, things you can drink out of, things you can spit into, things you can put on your shoulders.
You can track.
I'm not on there.
I'm always looking for stuff to spit into.
My mouth isn't on the
Yeah, my mouth isn't on the TTN Shopify. What are you talking about?
Yet.
That's a deep cut TGN DSN joke.
That was awesome. I love that.
We've got a Patreon. We're dropping a
Should
ton
have
of
been a
stuff
cricket
there.
sound effect.
We're dropping a ton of stuff there. We just dropped the Hero Forge minis for Chris and Avery's characters. If you want to check those out, that's our top-notch drop. We're also going to be dropping our PDF in the next couple of days. That's going to be like a TTN Vault release because we're kind of between campaigns right now, so we'll see what we come up with. There's a lot of stuff in that vault. And like Anthony said, like early access episodes, we're gonna have our Notch and Soda after episode 4 of Bloody Be the Turnips. So we'll be talking case files and rumors and who's crazy.
Might have the first case in the bag by then.
You
never
think?
What are you
know.
talking about?
I don't
say
know.
I
that.
mean, it's just as fast as we go, right?
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Now I'm already embarrassed.
Yeah.
I thought
That's
you might
just
solve it
episode.
last episode, and you didn't.
No,
Oh.
shut up, you ass.
That's
We
horrible.
said the husband did it.
I'm a stupid dum-dum. I'm a stupid dum-dum.
Oh yeah, and sub if you have an Amazon Prime account because it's free.
That too.
Thank you for the reminder. in
Connected
chat.
to your Twitch.
We're gonna thank some
Fun
lovely
for you,
people, and then we're gonna do our recaps are gonna be a little last time on-esque. Jordan's cut together some of the important moments from the previous episode to help you stay caught up, and then we'll do the banging intro. But first, if you want to think.
Yeah. Let's see. Savory Fruit resubscribed. Toast of Alcaro resubscribed. Team Toxic 100 bits. I am Haley resubscribed. Graffiti resubscribed. Low Guy resubscribed. Abaddon resubscribed. Alan Fur did 500 bits. Exponent Pie resubscribed. Team Toxic 100 bits. Shadowwing resubscribed. Oh golly. Master Dark resubscribed. Captain Kirk resubscribed. Rowan KT resubscribed. Jay Brownie did a 10,000 bits? Oh my god! Finally got caught up on Bronx College. Just want to send this as a congrats on defeating the final boss on TV guide.
Oh, a throwback! Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Holy smokes! Thank you so much for that. And FNF resubscribed. Thank you all so much. Kokodoko, 2 years as a mod. Kokodoko,
Hey.
so
Modiversary.
Modiversary. Happy Modiversary.
Hocus pocus, hocus docus.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, wow,
It's
thank
amazing,
you.
and we're thrilled to be bringing you the next campaign. So let's get into the meat of it by throwing it over to the recap, and then we'll sing along with the intro. It doesn't have words, but you can sing along anyway. And then we'll get into chapter 2 of Bloody Be the Turnips. BB the Tease.
BB in the
BB and the TVs.
Previously on Bloody Be the Turnips.
This right here is the new and improved inactive missing persons division.
The IMP is where people's careers go to die. They're sticking me there because they don't want me anywhere else.
They're sticking you in this unit as what, some kind of punishment? You don't have to stand for that. You're a Leyo.
I'm gonna solve something big here. You see, I'm not going back until I do.
Barrett, Karakinos, Georgie. You guys made quite a stir in the media.
Are you actually crazy?
I'm not crazy.
You had some weird shit about lumens, right? Is that you?
That was him.
That's oh
Yeah.
yeah, you're the lumens
right.
guy.
You're gonna be going after those who are gone and forgotten. Eugene is your in-house man.
Your first assignment is to pick your first assignment.
Miss Burr was reported missing by her husband one day after not returning home from a fundraising event.
Damn.
Over the next 2 days, 5 additional citizens of Humbor, the town where this is taking place, were reported missing. By the end of the week, the corpses of all 5 had been discovered, all mutilated through removal of the jaw, presumably to prevent the usage of the Speak with Dead spell.
The evidence that we would be getting for it is a list of the other victims, a list of the election candidates, and then we also have the letter that the transit company got that told them that she didn't need a ride.
As far as impact that we could have, I feel this one probably has the most dire of stakes.
So, what are we looking at?
Deshi Perim on Alhatsu.
Interesting choice.
Deshi Perim, 35, tiefling, black hair, yellow eyes, medium horns that go straight back across the head. Multiple facial scars from her time spent serving in one of the Ahaltsu combat units. local leader, an elected politician coming off a contentious local election. Sending status, non-responsive, status unknown. This is your first assignment selection as newly minted members of the Office of External Investigations IMP unit. It's an ambitious choice. The scope is large and the target is a public figure, even if it's a relatively small town. But there's some advantages as well. It's one of the cases most recently declared inactive, so the incident should be fresh in people's minds. And the request was filed by a high-ranking officer, so of all of the challenges that you might be facing, uncooperative local law enforcement shouldn't be one of them. The man to report to is Major Kenji Foley of the Akota Auxiliary. And after speaking with him, you can plot a course and form a plan to start working back on the investigation in the town of Humble. But first, in a process very familiar to you by now, you need to pay a visit to the OEI Equipment Depot to outfit yourselves for the journey ahead. You've barely gotten settled into your new digs down here, but somehow you don't mind leaving Eugene to tidy up while you return to the surface. Deal with that. As you get up from the desk, taking the case file, sort of tucking it into one of your bags, Eugene speaks to you.
Don't forget to take your ID badges to the depot. You'll need to present them. And all the same rules about rentals and requisitions still apply. Vala Caldera to Akota is just about 3 hours on the dive line. So I'll enjoy that Midland summer heat. I'll see you when you get back. IMP assignments are 7 days with the possibility for extension upon request, though I wouldn't count on getting approval for extensions unless you could provide evidence that you're right on the cusp of breaking things wide open. You need to request an extension, you sending me, I'll take it to Webb. While you're gone, I'll see what I can do about this mess in the cockroach guts. I suppose this is the point at which I say to you all, good hunting. May your findings surprise us, just like you all surprised us by being offered a second chance instead of just getting fired. Off you go now.
And to his credit, he doesn't immediately go back to his nap. You see him grab a broom from the corner and sort of sweep up some of those small sort of insect carcasses that are scattered along the floor there.
Well, brighten up, everyone. This is exciting times. First case.
Day 1 of 7.
Yeah, 1 of 7.
I reckon we'll only need 2.
See, I like this attitude.
I'm sure we will prove ourselves worthy in a matter of days.
I'm sure that's true.
Does anybody have any initial impressions that they want to share as we head over?
Well, there are a lot of details that I want to get before we head out there. Things about this is a contested election. What were the various positions that the candidates took? Which ones did the victim have that somebody might be upset about? Things of that nature. How long had the election been? Had she been elected before? There's a lot of those details that I feel like we're missing.
I'm sure Gold Pike will have something for us when we get over there.
Yes.
I'd like us to chat with the transit company as soon as possible.
Goldpike probably won't be there, by the way. Goldpike's the detective who was on the case. That's not the local contact. Kenji Foley's the local contact. That's the local law that you'll be reporting to.
Are we going to see Gold Pike before we leave on the trip?
He's probably doing another case.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But the local contact should have the details.
Okay.
Because Goldpike would have submitted whatever he had to the local
Right.
law enforcement before he declared the case inactive. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you could potentially sending a detective if you needed, if you were hey, there's this small detail I could use a clarification on, but you won't be reporting to the former detective unless you have a reason to, because he's probably on another case.
And he might be I'm busy, you idiot.
That's inactive. Get the fuck out of here.
So it's after we get there that we'll get to make contact. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd like to talk to some of the families of the other victims. I don't see them represented a lot in this file here.
Yes, we don't have many details at all about them, what they did, any sorts of... If we're going to find connections between them, we need to know a lot more about them.
It's also quite interesting that one of them was not killed by blunt force trauma to the head.
Yes.
They don't specify how. Couldn't be Boyle.
There's all sorts of ways of fucking somebody up.
Sure.
And perhaps a way we can look into if it was the theory of multiple murderers, different murder styles. An interesting lead there.
Yeah, the timeline is kind of nuts for one person.
Flourishes.
Well,
It's just funny you said styles.
Ah. Yes.
Calling cards.
Exactly. Precisely.
modus operandi?
I'm sorry.
You don't know the old tongue? Ipso facto.
I was just also trying to contribute a synonym.
Ah.
Shall we retrieve our equipment?
Adding to the never-ending list of inconveniences that the IMP must endure, the equipment depot is no longer just around the corner like it was back at the primary OEI offices. You go up the stairs, down the narrow corridor, you wait for the lift, you plug your ears as you scuttle past the cantrip firing range. You head outside, and you need to go down the block and make for the headquarters lobby, at which point you'll have to pass through the courtyard where the depot sits on the opposite side. The crowded streets of Valo Caldera are bustling to the point of having to occasionally gently push your way through small groups forming around vendors and buskers in the street. The districts around the OEI feature some of the most prestigious academies in the entire archipelago. So many of the people that you pass by skew younger and are clad in varying distinct school uniforms, little cliques of colors here and there, some of them mixing between. It gives your surroundings an appearance like some kind of sporting match is taking place, where the fans are all wearing their team's sort of emblems and colors. As you approach the headquarters, Cade spots someone in the alley between two buildings that he recognizes. Someone trying to get his attention, but doing so very carefully, with a subtle nod and a wave. A gnomish man, with long copper hair tied into a ponytail. He wears fingerless leather gloves, and he has a notepad in one hand. The other is clutching the strap of a shoulder bag, and this is Osiris Stokes, who, if you're being honest with yourself, you're not exactly thrilled to see at the moment. But he stands there in the corner, and he's done a good job. He sort of waited for some of the other people to walk ahead, and then found himself sort of between a couple people. He's sort of has a knack for staying unseen if he wants to, and he gives you a little.
Okay. Can I kind of fall back to the back of the pack here? And
Sure, give me a stealth check.
Ooh!
Natural 20.
Oh.
With the crowd bustling around you, there's one kind of wave of students that goes by, sort of, oh, get me one of those, and they sort of run past to go to this sort of vegetable stand that's sort of set up, and in that moment, Cade falls back to let them all pass in front of him.
You all gotta get that radish!
There's some, treats as well. And Cade lets himself fall, and the bustle kind of takes over, and when someone kind of looks back, he slips through the crowd and finds his way over between the buildings.
I see you finally found the art of subtlety.
I know. They dug up some of my old artifacts. I just wanted you to know that I didn't provide them with shit. They've been grilling me about where I got my information, but I never betray a source. Unfortunately, your internal investigations department is thorough. My apologies if you got blindsided. By the time I found out that they had it, you'd already come into work this morning. There's nothing I could do, sorry to say.
It's just him and me in this.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are like
here.
off to the side a little bit. You're not so far in the alley that it's like one of those two people doing talk. You're just off the side of the street, like right between the two buildings. So.
I ought to do worse for you right now than I did for him. Why are you here?
I told you, I just wanted you to know that it wasn't me who handed over the article. They found it. They have people for this kind of thing.
Found it on the top stack on your desk? What are you talking about?
I'm afraid your name rings out, Agent Barrett.
Do you have any idea who then?
I'm looking into it.
And in any case, I'm sure they'll rule in your favor. I did do a bit of digging, and any reports of interdepartmental physical confrontations, it always goes away. They don't want to raise a stink.
Well, I took it out on the wrong guy, I guess.
I suppose that's perhaps a little bit true. But Stokes is always looking out for his guys. If it's bad for you, it's bad for me, see? And we go back a ways, don't we?
Old friends.
Yes, while I've got you here, what's the deal with this new unit? I mean, is this for real, or... Because the old inactive cases unit, I gather that was a bit of a joke, sort of... And I mean, the agents that they have you working with, some of them I recognize, and not for good reasons.
Oh, it still is very much a joke, Osiris.
Noted. Not a place for a man of your distinction.
Listen. I'm not gonna tell you right now where we're headed.
I wouldn't even presume to ask.
But if I have an extra charge of my sending, you might hear from me.
I would welcome it without expecting it.
Get out of here.
Incidentally, some of those faces in your unit. You know, sometimes to take the heat off of one places the heat on another.
All right. I think I know what you're saying.
Because, I mean, if you tell me that this is a wank division, I mean, we can run with it. Get back at them for sticking you in a unit that you don't belong in. I mean, in Hydra Heights, you have certified hero status, and I mean, this is how they reward you for putting your life on the line?
Perhaps somebody who has their whole life ahead of them to make up for it. Less time than I do.
I'm just saying that maybe throughout the course of your investigation, if somebody screws something up, better to point a finger quickly away from you than have it pointed at the unit as a whole.
All right, Osiris. I'll catch you.
Good hunting. This is how it goes. Sort of run to catch up with the others a little bit.
Is there ever a chance to notice his absence at all, or is it that quick? Or
It's pretty quick. You might look back and not find him, but you certainly don't see where he went. So, you know, if he disappears for a moment and then you walk forward a little more, then you look back and you see him kind of catching up.
Gotcha.
It looks honestly to you, given the natural 20s, that he like got caught in the sort of big crowd and then had to run to catch up a little bit. As you pass through the OEI lobby, it draws a smattering of sideways glances and stares, not at any one person in particular. More just that this group of misfits and cast-offs has come together in this curious way. Not one of you hasn't been subject to rumors and muckraking, but as that's currently beyond your control, you have no choice but to cling to the job right now. When the time comes to make the plea to your superiors that you don't belong in the IMP, well, maybe then, one step at a time. Crossing the courtyard is the worst bit. What used to be a place of peace and contemplation, people take lunch breaks there, clear their mind, sparkling fountains and manicured hedges, it now feels like it's all being thrown in your face. It's everything that the IMP isn't. It's classy, it's clean, it's a source of pride. At a central gazebo is where junior agents are officially inducted into active duty with a short ceremony where you shake the hands of several superior officers. These moments of triumph and accomplishment that now feel very, very far away. Grit your teeth, and you get to the opposite side. You pass through a set of double doors, and you flash your badges one at a time to the men standing guard. As you do, you get some... waving you inside.
The disrespect begins.
As you move in, you pass by 2 agents on their way out, offer a little nod, don't stop to chat. The depot, as you enter into it, it's part armory and it looks part prison block in its appearance. The large, high-vaulted ceilings divided into several sections, and there's these barred gates to keep categories of supplies organized. So there's one little sort of cell or room that has weapons, another one that's all laden with shelves of potions, other ones that have supplies like ropes and pitons and climbing kits and all that thing, and then another one that's all material components for spells. So there's a little section for each one that has to be opened up, gathered, and then closed back up one at a time. Given the agency's level of funding, this vast assortment of resources would be tedious to sort through, if not for the man you see standing in a booth off to the side. Human with a scruffy gray beard and a dark red beret that slouches over the side of his head. People have joked that Officer Howard Ulrich is the least replaceable employee at the OEI because of how efficiently he sifts through the mountain of gear behind him. On his rare off days, it feels like the entire place grinds to a halt. As you enter in, he sort of sees you.
They told me I might see some new kind of badges coming through in the depot today. A unit reformed, inactive missing persons. Standard clearance for equipment and consumables. Go ahead and flash the leather, and then you can tell me what you need.
Well, if I could take a look at your potions, elixirs, and the like.
Of course, you know the drill, 3 of a kind. Are we dive line bound today? Are we limiting ourselves to such?
We are.
All right. Yep. Let me see what I can get for you.
He starts to open up some of the gates, and some of the things that are already on your character sheets, you tell him what armor you're carrying with you, what weapons you want with you, sort of throughout the mission. And I mentioned this to you off stream, but I'll reiterate it now. The OEI will provide on your mission 3 for each person, 3 from each category of item. It means you get 3 potions free of charge, which are yours to use, which you're expected to return if you don't use them, but you're
Just chugging it all on the way back.
Visibility
mostly
potion hide and seek, anybody?
mostly potions of uncommon or lesser rarity, and there's some that are sort of exempt from this, but the classic ones, potions of greater healing. There are potions of healing, but no reason to not take the better one.
Yep.
Potions of resistance of any particular kind, potions of climbing, potions of comprehension, potions of water breathing. So they carry all like stocks of all the functional sort of potions that you might run into in an everyday use. Also, for those of you who have spell components that have material costs associated with them, you can take up to 3 of those. Oh, and those are each per person, so those are provided to you as well.
If those components are consumable, is it we could get 3 casts of those, or could we stack up and get like enough to cast this spell twice, enough to cast this spell once, enough to cast this spell twice?
You get 3 total. So like
3 diamonds.
3 diamonds for the revivify spell, yes. So sure.
just 3 material components total?
But only ones that have a cost associated with it.
A lot of my stuff is like dust that is worth this amount. So so it would be like a vial of specifically like 25 gold. Okay,
Yep,
so it would
that
be,
would be
so
one.
Each cast
Yes.
is okay.
Yeah. And if it's not consumed, obviously you can use it over and over again because a lot of them have material costs.
You have one that sucks.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, and I know we've said this on stream, but just to clarify, if it's a material component that doesn't say it's consumed by the spell, I can use it just through my focus.
Yes, you have to have. Well, if it has so there's 3 categories. Ones that don't have a cost associated at all. Those your focus takes the place of all of those.
Yeah.
Ones that have a cost but aren't consumed. That means you have to have the material component, but you can do it as many times as you have spell slots available. It's not used up.
Right.
And then there's ones that have a cost associated and it's consumed on cast. So then it goes away. So you would need 3 of those to cast it 3 times.
Right.
The only spell I have that has like a gold amount associated is clairvoyance, which is a focus worth 100 gold pieces, either a jeweled horn for hearing or a glass eye for seeing. Is that something I can?
It absolutely is.
Does it say which the spell consumes or not?
It doesn't say which it.
Then you just need one of them, or one of each, depending on the kind you want to do. And then you could cast that as many times as you have spell slots available.
I was gonna ask, I had that too. So my necklace focus will not count for that. It needs to specifically be It says a
For
focus
clairvoyance.
worth 100 GP, either a jeweled horn for hearing or glass. So it needs to be
Yes.
specifically.
So they
for
have here in the
those
depot
focuses.
jeweled horns and the whatever the eye is. So they have those available for you to use if you need it for.
What about cool jewelry that I want? I want
Well,
cool
for
jeweled
people who
horns.
don't need it, you can get 3 to assist your friends, because you are technically allowed to.
wants to sell on me.
Take 3.
Do I need to limit myself?
Cade will be like at one point like, anybody needs an extra carry of something valuable to do some doodly doodlies.
Oh,
Does he do this?
I can carry a couple
take that.
diamonds. I don't use anything
Yeah.
that costs like a diamond or a piece of jeweled horn.
Does the OEI have HR?
It does now.
It does now. Yeah, I got a couple of slots, BD.
Yes, Chris.
Do I need to limit myself to 3 tools, or can I say that I've got like my own calligrapher's tools or something, or would I need to rent any of this from? Like, does it all need to be rented?
I would say it doesn't have to all be rented. We're sort of doing a de facto. The dive life lockers can only carry so much in them, like literally space-wise. So I would say, if you want to add 1 or 2 extra that are your personal ones, that's okay. But don't be like, I have 20 sets of things. Because...
Because it's the thing where I'm like, I could use a lot of tools, and I don't need weapons. So it's
Yeah,
like,
so you have a little extra space because you're not carrying that. Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Go ahead. Go.
Sorry.
That's
For things like light and message, I need stuff like copper wire, phosphorescent moss. Is that stuff like I would need to ask for that now, or like I could just have in my bag?
Again, that's stuff that your spellcasting focus takes the place
Okay,
of.
understood.
Yes, if it doesn't have a cost, your spellcasting focus takes the place of it.
Okay, thank you.
Not to beat the clairvoyance horse
No.
dead again, but it says that
He's back alive! Get him!
it says that you can choose to either see or hear, which is I'm assuming where the 2 focuses come in.
Yes.
It says as a bonus action you can switch that. Would we need to have the other focus to then switch?
Yes. So you need 1 for hearing and 1 for
and
seeing.
1 for seeing.
So,
But
but
they're not consumed.
Yes, they're not consumed, so you can cast that multiple times. Yeah. As long as you have 1 of each, you can use both versions of clairvoyance.
Okay.
Matthew,
Yes.
for potions, are we doing elixirs or is it more just the
The standard,
Roster.
yeah, the sort of,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Thanks, Matthew.
After Barrett says that, I'll say, yeah, just like that. Well, I knew you'd be nice to have around, Barrett. I also don't need to carry any material components, so if anyone needs another hand, I'm happy to help.
I might load you up with some extra gold dust or ruby dust in that case.
All right.
Could you grab an extra healing potion?
Oh,
I offered first. Why is he getting all the offers?
we'll make sure we spread it out between us, Barrett.
Remember, potions are also separate from material components. Each category of item, you get 3.
3 of
So everybody
both.
gets 3 potions.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't take 1 less potion for you to take an extra potion. It's specific that like the spell components, I don't need any. So I've kind of met
Oh,
the
it's
empty
just
spell.
okay. Understood.
Gold
Officers
components.
are great.
And then,
3
What do you think this is?
Was that not clear?
Was it not clear when I went
You
like
said
this?
slits, and you lost me, mate.
Slots.
Slots.
I'm out of spell slits!
God. Sir, when I have all of my equipment selected, I inform you.
Everybody get the hell out.
I do it?
Please.
Okay, we're role playing it. I'm just gonna do 3 diamonds, sir. 300 gold value or more.
Like weighs it out on a little pouch one of those.
Will for potions do a greater healing, a comprehension, and a resistance. Let's do specifically necrotic resistance, sir. Thank you. And then for equipment, climber's kit, longsword, full plate, please.
Of course. Yeah, so it's over to you. He gives all the items. Yeah, if you guys just want to quickly go through and say kind of what you're...
Repeat what you needed again.
or not.
You could get a vial of ruby dust and a vial of gold dust.
Do you want to share the load here, Barrett? So we're both working as a team.
Rubies go great with my complexion. I'll take the ruby dust.
All right, I'll take the gold dust.
Dust and pouch of gold dust.
There you go. Can I get the?
Upside down.
Can I get healer's kit? A greater healing potion. Resistance. I'll go necrotic as well. It's a great idea. I need a clairvoyance horn and glass eye.
Glass.
And do you have an herbalism kit?
I do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next.
Well, I'll take just 3 greater healing potions, please.
Playing it safe. No shame in that.
Is a short sword simple?
Yes.
Okay. I think I could just take a dagger. I'm pretty sure a dagger is simple if nothing else.
I'm sure it's what it was.
No, that is a martial weapon.
It's a martial?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dagger.
Dagger then.
Great. That's fine.
Yes, dagger, breastplate. And then, could I get a pearl worth 100 gold?
Pearls.
And then 2 vials of gold dust worth 25 gold each. And then if I could get jeweler's tools, thieves' tools, and a rope.
Okay.
I think that'll be everything. Oh, potions. And for potions,
Do you have elixirs?
And you have to put in a special request.
There's not a potion of greater invisibility, right? Is it just?
Yeah,
It's just plain old lesser invisibility.
would we be able to get antidotes? Would that be?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, could I get 2
Potion of
greater-
invisibility is also rare, so you have to put in a and request for that.
For what? For.
Potion of invisibility, even the lesser.
Oh,
is a
so I
rare
can't even.
potion.
Oh.
And then potion of greater healing,
Your healing.
an antidote,
Antidote.
and then you said water breathing?
I have water breathing.
Take water breathing just in case.
Yep. Birds to be prepared.
DM question.
Mhm.
Antitoxin is the preventative one. Antidote would be the opposite of that, right? If you are poisoned, is that what?
There is
antidote-
no. I think you meant antitoxin. There isn't an item called antidote.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
antitoxin.
That's what
I'm a
I was doing.
fraud.
So it is the preventative one.
Yes,
You take
you
it
take it ahead of time.
ahead of
Antitoxin,
time.
okay.
Maybe he's the one that did it.
Is there anything to cure conditions like blindness? Anything like that? Is
There are, but those potions are
Special.
high. Yeah, they're
You guys
expensive. Yep.
I'm a discerning customer.
All right. To round me out, I'll take 2 daggers and a short bow, and then if I could get 1 set of rope, a set of pitons, and 1 spyglass, please.
Careful with that.
Yep.
Spyglass. That's absolutely fabulous.
Thank you, Georgie.
Sorry, Matt. I just realized. Do I need to request my shield?
I mean, you could have requested your shield.
Oh, okay. That's not equipment.
It's in weapons and armor is their own.
Damn it. Okay,
Oh
sorry.
shoot! Do I
Alright.
need to? Is armor separate from weapons?
No, weapons and armor, and then
Sorry.
equipment, like adventuring supplies, is separate from weapons and armor.
All right, redo. I give 1 dagger back to get some cloth armor. Yeah. All right.
God.
Thank you.
I have some pot of ink, jeweled horn, and a glass eye. Thank you. Let's do a climber's kit. Mount with the. I'm assuming that has rope. I'm assuming you're not
kit does have
climbing with
rope. It's got
anything
two
other
lengths
than.
of
Yeah,
rope.
the
Okay,
climber's kit
so
has
that's
rope.
kind of
You could've-
better than just
If
getting
you asked
a-
for rope, he gave you a climber's
You
kit.
get-
Okay, good. I was gonna say, yeah, we should all have one.
Let's get 2 potions of greater healing. And let's do resistance as well.
What kind would you like?
Let's go fire.
There it is. Any of that around?
I've got 2 spots for equipment if anyone needs anything. Yep.
I would take a dagger.
Yep.
He goes to get the same dagger that you
Helps to have friends.
Question, Matt. Can I have a magnifying glass on me already, or is that something I should get.
You could have your own.
My own
it's even
from
in your
childhood.
character art,
That's
so
what I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna say that
Like, I have
you've
one.
got Georgie's special magnifying glass.
Wow, that's cool.
Love that.
Has the DeLeo name engraved on it.
Wow.
Wow. You're a DeLeo.
Leo. Leo.
And rings in her ears.
If you've got extra equipment slots, if you could grab calligrapher's supplies, might actually be useful.
Thieves' tools are something you have to be proficient in, right?
Yes, and I am proficient, so I mean,
Do you want thieves' tools?
I was probably gonna bring mine from home.
We have thieves tools at home.
We have thieves tools at home. Thieves tools at home.
Yeah.
So calligraphy
climber's
tools.
It's keys. Huge. So sorry, sir. I don't go out often. I'm more stationed here in Valcaldera.
I know.
Yeah. So, here you go. I'm gonna get back the pittance. And if I could get a forgery kit. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
I can also take 3 more items if anyone needs anything.
3 more of anything.
What category?
Adventuring kits, gear.
Equipment.
Did you take a climber's kit? You should probably have one of those.
Right side up this time. Can I have a climber's kit and can I get one of those spy glasses as well? That was.
We should have a trap disarm kit just in case.
A what?
I
couldn't understand you.
Trap disarm?
Trap disarm.
Oh,
Is that an actual item or is that just a?
I don't think it's
Baldur's
an
Gate?
actual
Yeah,
in.
that's
Did you use thieves tools? What
I
do
think
you do
thieves
for
tools can be
disarming?
used to
They just do the
disarm.
same thing? Okay, never mind then. Then we're covered.
Climber's kit.
Can't leave home without it.
A couple of pots of Gearlon.
There's a night you live on.
Girl on urine.
Second spy glass.
2 greater healings and an antitoxin. I'll take your longest spear. Thank you.
I mean, if you got extra equipment slots and there's nothing else we need, I have my own flute. But if you wanted to, we just bring another flute. Could be fun.
Can I have a dagger?
You don't need to flash the badge again. And yes.
Thank you. Sorry, just figured that'd be important.
No, sure.
Are we adequately equipped?
I think I could still carry a couple more of them ruby dusts or something like that if somebody wants.
How about a jeweled horn?
I'll take it.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind
I still
Gonna
have
get
2
you-
slots as well for that.
for
Just take
Material components.
You know what? Take the glass eye. Take the glass eye instead. Yeah.
There you go.
well, take another ruby.
Another ruby, please.
Don't know if I'll use it, but
Have we hit all the categories?
Ruby or ruby dust?
ruby dust.
Ruby dust.
Have we hit all the categories? It's like potions, equipment, and the materials. Those are the big 3 of each.
3 threes.
And adventuring gear, yes.
Things like kits and stuff fall into.
Kits, piss, climber's kits.
Yeah.
Are we gonna need camping supplies or like is our lodging taken care of?
No, you
Okay.
will not. You will not.
All right, shall we
Alright.
call it?
I'm all set.
Think we're good to head out?
Time to dive.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose I'll say good hunting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He turns back around, goes back into the sort of cage there to start sorting through. He's checking, sort of writing down what he needs to restock there in the various rooms, counting out some of the.
Gotta grind up a lot of rubies.
This is also the point, as we sort of prepare for our mission, that I'll also mention, you guys rolled for percentile.
Oh,
What prior to the campaign.
Salary.
It is your current gold on hand.
Okay.
Add a 0 to the end, and that's what you got. So,
Add a
Agent
0.
Bete, 480 gold. Agent Leyo, 530 gold. Agent Rysynthian, 440 gold. Agent Karakinos, 330 gold.
Yeah.
Agent Anders, 820 gold. And Agent Barrett, 380 gold.
The one good
And again, that's not your entire, that's like what you have on hand, like liquid. Like
Okay.
if you needed to,
Loaded.
yeah, you might have some, in the,
Wow.
like,
Oh, yeah,
like,
you rolled it like an
you know,
idiot.
Georgie DeLeo, who comes from some
She's been in the
royal
game
family,
a
has
long
more
time.
money than that. But
Wow.
Wow.
I'm gambling or
She's
something.
been scrolling it away.
Yeah.
Or just not spending, sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
In her shitty little apartment.
Woman, yeah.
That's beer money.
So that is sort of if the need comes to
Wow.
bribe or buy something in particular or
Cool. Dang. Money. That's. We didn't have to wait till the last episode.
Let's go.
You guys sort of let those big doors close behind you. You're just outside in the courtyard, sort of looking at it, making sure you have everything. Around to each other.
Anyone need to make a final trip home? Or are we all set to rock and roll?
What is home?
Home.
Home?
Home? Like where your lodging is. Like your place of where you go to sleep at night.
You said we need to make a final trip home as if we have some collective home, and I was just a little.
You are all
Curious.
always welcome at my home. My home is all of yours.
No, where do you live?
Here in Valo Caldera.
Like where around? Is it nearby?
From here, maybe a
have a
10,
pool?
15 minute walk, no pool.
What are the cross streets?
Oh, well, it's Evergreen versus Diamond Road.
Green and diamond.
Evergreen and Diamond.
That's a nice street.
There's a pub over there. Maybe I'll sleep one off at your place.
Always welcome, Barrett.
All right. Thanks.
That's if you can outdrink me.
Okay.
Gods, let's motor.
All right.
Start to move. Across the many islands that make up Rysynthian Puntura, Lumen's technology is a source of much debate. What it should be used for, who should have access to it, and the limits to which weave essences can be harvested and purified to create effects that are more beneficial than they are a drain on local resources. For all of the skeptics and naysayers, however, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better argument for the continued pursuit of Lumen's development than the dive rail, an absolute marvel of Magitech. The dive line is the purest representation of what can be accomplished when all of the islands work together as one. Using accelerant lumens harvested from threads similar to the haste spell, and transmutive lumens harvested from threads similar to the shape water and control water spells. The result is a series of sleek orichalcum reinforced train cars that run on rails between the major cities across the archipelago. Those transmutive lumens create temporary pockets of air around the train, which allows them to plunge down beneath the surface of the water without fighting against the pressure and the resistance. This limits the need for expensive foundations and keeps the harbors and channels completely open for ships to sail through. It's a vitally important element to commerce, as the train's finite capacity ensures that boats remain the dominant form of trade and transportation. The Valo Caldera terminal is the biggest and sees by far the most foot traffic on a daily basis. A tremendous 3-tiered structure with a protective partial dome that can be retracted or extended when the coastal weather is particularly bad. The upper tier is a series of walkways lined with shops and seating areas, as well as the ticket booths where you're fortunate to be able to cut the lines as members of the OEI. Ivy trickles down from the railings and draws your attention to the crisscrossing tracks below that at a glance might seem kind of chaotic, like a frayed ball of yarn, but in fact have been very carefully engineered to slow and accelerate the vehicles coming in from different directions and points of origin. Ramps and platforms extend out to the loading and unloading areas, every bit of space accounted for so that the trains weave and circle around each other, almost like planets orbiting a central sun. As you guys have been sort of milling about, you get your tickets, sort of standing on the upper platform there, you hear,
Dive line 662A4 en route to Akota. This is your final boarding call.
you guys know that that's your train.
You can never understand them when they're on the intercoms.
You're not from here, are you?
No, it's like they have the microphone in their mouths.
No, I
Yeah.
know what you mean.
It's like a special dialect. You'll
I
get
did have one guy who would sing the song of the station when you arrived in it. That was amusing.
What did it go like?
You're now in Valo Caldera.
Ah.
Something like that.
Some
I
of
hope
them
they
end up
paid him.
sounding like sea shanties. It's pretty nice.
Hope they pay them extra.
No.
Final boarding call.
Maybe we better get on it.
You guys know the procedure well. After boarding the train, you pass through an area with a dozen or so changing stations. where you slip into one of the dive line vestments that are made of moss weave. It's a loose-fitting robe and pant with a soft belt, often comparable in appearance to a gi or like a martial arts uniform.
Right at home.
Beyond that, you have the orichalcum lockers, where you can store your belongings. Normally, a hefty fee is required for their use, but the OEI foots the bill for their agents. All of this is precaution against the accelerant magic that powers the dive rail. Inorganic material is at risk of eroding from exposure to the intense emanation of this transmutation energy. You've heard that there's some experimentation going on at various research facilities as to what can and cannot be safely transported on the train, but for now they play it very safe and require that you stow all of your equipment. As a group, you find your way to your designated car after putting your belongings in, where couches line the walls on both sides and large windows let you peer out at the busy station. You look at the couches and once again it's covered in that soft organic moss weave, that is the same thing that your sort of outfits are made out of. The windows will shutter closed when the train begins its descent into the water. Seats are assigned by section, and a car typically has 3 sections. So it looks like you guys have one section, and there are 2 other sections occupied. One is a family with a couple of kids there, and then there's some older men and women who have the look of kind of work associates. They have kind of uniforms on, not matching uniforms, but sort of a suit and tie kind of look to them. So you guys look around, and the sections are, there's like a little half wall that sort of separates them, but it's also open, like you can see, and if you wanted to talk to people in the other sections, it's not sort of closed off in your own little space. So you guys get in. Moment, wait for the train to leave, but you hear sort of in the car.
We've already loaded the stuff was in a different, like...
You pass through the changing area, then after that, lockers, and then you head to the cars.
Okay.
Find your section.
I'm gonna slide in next to Agent Rysynthian. So just out of curiosity, what do you think about all of this?
It's a brilliant source of technology.
It's all good?
It's good that we can get to where we're going quickly, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm asking about the conspiracy.
Well, we don't have to get into this an immense amount.
But how much time do we have?
I mean, the train...
Well, it's almost 8 o'clock.
A little under 3 hours, the train ride.
We have a little under 3 hours.
All right, well, let's settle in first. And then, as we get on our journey, we can talk a bit more about lumens and what this all could represent.
Fascinating.
And in that moment, you hear...
This is dive line 662A4, departing from Vallo Caldera. We're scheduled to leave the station on time, and we should be pulling into the Akota terminal in just about 3 hours. Take a seat, and if you have any problems, please use one of the hall bells located at each end of your assigned car. An attendant will be with you as soon as possible. Hope you have a comfortable journey. Thank you.
You see Cade just kind of settle in by himself and kind of close his eyes and like he's either sleeping or meditating. You're not sure. Like
A moment later, you sort of feel a little slow acceleration as it starts to move further and further forward.
Are there windows on the?
There are windows that, as you start to go into the water, they shutter up.
They shutter up.
People
Right.
had problems with getting sick on diver.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, what was the terminal name he just used?
Akota.
Akota?
Yeah, that's the so on your list of locations, any of those like notable cities, those have dive line stations. So your city that you're going to, Humbor, the closest dive line station is Akota to that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I think just as getting in, I think Nigel kind of sits himself in the corner, sits very firmly, and just starts taking like pretty deep breaths. It just eyes kind of fuzz out, like kind of gets like a middle distance stare, and is just.
And in that moment, you feel the sort of and the shutters go up, and you can hear the. As you get down
we're off.
below the surface of the water. You guys are off.
You're doing okay, Agent Karakinos.
Yes, it's now that we're past the the takeoff. It's going to be okay. After a little bit, you just kind of stop noticing it.
Noticing what? Or is it the initial movement that frightens you?
Just the shift. The body's not really meant to
Ah.
move like this, which is odd, considering that I jump through pocket dimensions on a regular basis. But there's something about this. It doesn't feel right.
It is not natural.
Still not used
We'll
to
say that.
I completely agree. You know, what they say is it's the takeoff and then the arrival that are the two most dangerous times. So it's not even like you can get, you know, reassurance. I mean, we're out of the woods for the first part, but we still, you know, got to make it to the destination. And
Yes. All I have to do is make sure that there is the bile is as low in the throat as possible before we get to the end, and then it should be okay.
I mean,
Smiling also suppresses your gag reflexes.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
I don't smile much.
I've noticed that about this band here. There's not much smiling going on. I'd love to see some more smiles. Good energy.
you know, maybe we could solve a quick case right now while we're all in the dive rail. Why do you think that might be?
If we all are wallowing in our own self-pity, we're gonna be too distracted to get any necessary work done.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Roberto Duloc always said, a misstep is not a failure, it's just an opportunity to look at something from another angle.
Very astute, Georgie.
If you find yourself in a corner, just turn around and look from the corner.
Wow, I didn't know you had such an interest in Duloc.
Ugh, who doesn't?
He was very accomplished.
I loved reading them when I was a child.
They're really for all ages, actually.
Oh yes, it's just once you've read them, you know them. You know the answers to the mystery, so you try to, you know.
I find them to be a valuable reminder of life lessons.
Well, how do you think Duloc would be looking at this case?
I think we have to start from the night of the disappearance, the transit company.
You're really focused on the transit. What are you seeing there?
I actually echo that thought.
Seems like they didn't look into it quite properly.
Well, I think I'm curious if they know who dropped off the letter, if they saw who delivered it. Because clearly whoever did it was lying in some respect, unless...
This is the letter
to the
saying
transit company.
she found another ride?
Saying that she no longer needed their services, but then she got in a carriage at the time that they were supposed to pick her up, so it seems the most likely answer is whoever did this got them to not send a horse so that they could take their horse instead.
Well, we don't know that she got in a carriage, right? We know that the host said she got in a carriage.
I would assume that other people who were there would be able to corroborate, but I suppose maybe the host is the only one who would have seen it.
That is definitely something to look into, get more eyewitness reports. Also, not to shed any gray areas on local law enforcement. They hold up everything outside of Vallo Caldera. But if the only people who saw this supposed letter that she was not going to be needing that carriage was local law enforcement, corruption is not... I'm just saying. Maybe it's worth looking into with the local law enforcement as well.
We don't have that letter in evidence?
We do have that letter in evidence.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
Yeah, the letter exists. That was in the. That was provided in.
Fantastic.
The peculiar...
It's okay. He might not have looked through the bag, but yes,
Oh,
the actual letter
the-
itself was provided.
I will pull it out of my bag.
You can't. It's in your locker, but you can recall the details of the
Rattle it
letter.
off.
Pull it out, it disintegrates.
Well, and that being the case,
The peculiar thing about the letter is that it is written on city council stationery. So, either somebody in the city council provided the paper, or somebody was able to steal the paper.
Or she wrote it.
Or she wrote it.
I am versed in forgery. I would like to see maybe some similar writings to what she has produced or other people within city council.
I procured a calligrapher's kit as well, just so we could try and identify. That was my first thought, was, yes, trying to identify the the handwriting.
It's a nice lead. I like both of these. This is good. This is a good start.
With the goal of trying to figure out, did she actually get on another carriage?
If we could find a sample of her writing, and just to try and cross out that she is the one who sent it there, if there is something strange going on here, for example, if she was trying to disappear but make it look like something was fishy, she could have actually called that carriage off to then take a different carriage. It is possible, but we can very easily cross that off the list by just comparing the writing on that letter to any other writing of hers.
So verifying the authenticity of the letter.
Yes.
The primary objective?
Honestly, we should try and cross-reference it to the writing of any significant person in this case. The other candidates, the hosts of the fundraiser.
I'm sure we can easily get a hold of official documents signed by candidates and whatnot.
She should have had to write something already. She's been elected for a while, I assume.
Wasn't there also something in there about the 5 victims that were found? They also aligned with when she went missing, but not necessarily after she went missing, but around the same time. So they said they were within 48 hours of each other, the deaths.
Yes.
That
That's
48
what they
hours
think.
could have been, that's what they think. It could have been before she was taken away in that wagon or wherever she went off to. And so what we have to know is if we somehow decide or find that these murders are not a part of finding her, that is no longer our duty to find what happened to these people.
No, but if we do find something that makes it definitive, that is still good information to pass off to them.
Yes.
And it helps us narrow our own investigation as well.
And separate non-imp officers can come investigate now these 5 different murders that are now separate.
I think another thing that I would like to clear up with the timeline there, were any of them seen after the fundraiser at all? If we're trying to say whether or not they are connected to this, it said that, they were not always seen fairly often, but had any of them been seen after the fundraiser but before they were reported missing? If none of them were seen after the fundraiser, then it does point at that night. If they are connected, it points at that night probably being when all of this happened.
I'm curious if they're even gonna let us interview anything to do with the other 5. They're loosely connected at best. They might say we gotta find something more to do with Deshi before we're allowed to branch out and start.
You would imagine that the fact that it's part of this case file means that we can talk to people about it.
I would not imagine that.
Well, I'd always assume the families of the victims are probably looking for closure.
I'm sure they are, but our
would need
jurisdiction
their-
might be pretty
That's
limited.
not our space.
We would need their permission in order to talk to them.
We would need the local law enforcement.
That's who there was. I apologize. I used the same pronouns
I see, Nigel.
over and
It's all
over
right,
from
Karakinos.
multiple people.
I understand. We all fuck up sometimes,
It's fine.
Agent Bete, you've been awfully quiet in this whole day that I've been with you. And I'd like to hear what's going on in the second of command to Calvin Worthy. I mean, you've solved quite a few things with him. I'd like to know what's going on.
Not in the second command of Calvin Worthy.
So you now are now willing to share what you're thinking. If Agent Worthy is not around.
What are you asking?
I'm also
I would like to I want to hear what your thoughts are. Because you're high up working with Agent Worthy, an agent of note. I would like to know what you're thinking right now.
I'm thinking I would like to solve this case so that we can solve the second case, so that we can solve the third case.
That does help, but that doesn't get us any further in this case. I want to know what you think about doing in this case.
You're asking me what I think of this case.
Sure, and what you want to do when you first get there, and what just your general thoughts.
Understood. I thought you were trying to probe at me for information about Agent Worthy, which I wouldn't be willing to give up.
Nah, I'm not looking for Agent Worthy. Just, I hold you in a high regard, having been partnered with him for a time.
Well, I do agree with Agent Deluca.
Deluca.
Agent Delulu.
DeLuca is the combination of
DeLuca.
With Agent Leyo about the transportation being one of my primary curiosities. I do also want to find out if the carriages that would be rented for such a thing look identical, and if they would be able to be replicated and fool somebody who has hired these services. If the letter proves fraudulent, then she would also have to be able to be fooled into entering a carriage that she does not recognize.
That takes a lot of foresight. You're right.
There's another thing that I thought was curious about the case when it comes to just odd things about the carriage ride. They searched the road between the fundraiser and her home, but if she was in a fraudulent carriage, she probably would not have taken the road to her home. If she was taken somewhere else, what are the other paths? What are the other directions she could have taken?
Yes, how often do you get in a carriage and then not question the driver when they start taking a route you're not familiar with?
Yes. If they had some way of incapacitating her when she got in, perhaps.
The host was also, from what I recall, quite an unreliable interviewee, given excessive alcohol potentially on the night of the event.
Excessive alcohol or something in the alcohol.
Astute.
Also, perhaps, something we haven't mentioned here, maybe Deshi Perim has been in on it this whole time. She's not a victim, but someone that is running in the wrong circles.
The only thing with that is I cannot figure out how this would be in any way beneficial. The other victims, perhaps asking about them, we could find something, but these other victims, if the whole thing was to get them killed, they don't seem like important. Well, everybody's important, but they don't seem like you would orchestrate something like this just in order to kill some civilians. I don't know why this would happen.
I would say it's a bit far-fetched. Maybe not something to entirely rule out.
It doesn't mean that it's not there, it just means we don't have a clear motive. That's all.
Understood.
Is Jomei now... I guess maybe this is a Matt question. For the politics of the... Would
Clarify also, Jomei was the
Runner-up.
runner-up in the election.
Yeah, Jomei, the runner-up in the election, would they become the next council member?
No, they would not.
Okay, and we would know
There would
that.
be another election.
Did they inherit the throne?
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they still on the Treasury board, or did they vacate that position to run for this position?
They didn't vacate it, so
they
they're
are still on the
Treasury board. Yeah, as far as
Okay.
you know, and as far as you know, and this is going to be something you can ask local law as well. As far as you can tell, the seat has not been filled because
Right.
Deshi Perim has not been confirmed dead. So,
True.
so the seat has not been. They haven't had people sort of running to fill that position yet, as far as you know.
It's probably a thing. Should we wait to get there to ask them what they would do? Like, would it be a special election?
Yeah, you can ask them.
Okay, cool.
All right. This all sounds like lovely starting spots.
It would be interesting to find out who might be running again, should they hold another election.
Well, it seems like there is a clear favorite to win, should they need to elect again. Jomei was the only one that was competitive at the end of the race.
I wonder if there are two parties, one set of party members that are wanting to abstain from having another election in hopes that we find this person. Therefore, they may be our closest allies as they see more help coming, and maybe a party that wants to rush things along.
We'll need to see what sorts of pressures people are putting on.
I have to come clean about something, which you may all know about me.
Crazy.
I think we already know.
I'm not very often put out on cases such as these. I have done them before, but I will be relying on you all for your detective work, and I'll jump in where I can. But if there's ever anything you need interpersonal, that is my jurisdiction. So if you ever want me to take point on talking to anybody, please rely on me for that, as I rely on you for this field work. I just didn't want it. This is kind of fresh for me.
That's all right. I like listening.
Yes, I also would prefer not to talk to people if I
Happy
could.
to do that.
It's not one of my strengths.
We're all going around and giving our shortcomings.
I just didn't want to. I may not
Got
be the
3
strongest.
hours to kill. It's a fun icebreaker.
I think it does. I think it actually does make sense to talk about the roles that we would take on in the investigation. Actually,
Shortcomings,
plan
strengths.
of action.
Yes.
If you are going to be best put to work, perhaps interviewing
Yes.
all the people, following up, I think I would be best examining the evidence that we have, looking for, like you said, trying to match handwriting, trying to investigate the spots where these bodies were found, things of that nature.
All right. Shortcomings?
Perhaps you okay, so the best way to illustrate this, I think, would be I am actually extremely excited right now. So when you asked about the lack of smiles, it's just I forget to use my face. So
I love to hear that.
I think I am best not interfacing with people. I think.
All right. I'm happy to learn that about you. Well, I'm glad you're excited.
Me too.
That didn't happen.
He doesn't want to touch. He doesn't want to tell you his touching thing.
What that was, he summoned a mage hand, and the mage hand did that. He did not touch it. He did not touch it.
Retconning in real time. That
It was a mage hand.
not just happened.
It was a mage hand that did that. You gotta get
As
Talon's
far
gotta
as
get
the camera looked, it looked like your hand went out of frame and it made.
perfect.
That's
Perfect.
hilarious.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Holy
Wanted to
shit.
clear that up. Talon's gotta get used to that.
I think Luca just said that out loud. That didn't just happen.
Didn't just happen.
This isn't happening.
This isn't happening right now.
Start prestidigitation on your hand.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
didn't realize hallucination was a part of the dive rail for everyone. Thought it was just me.
Anyone else want to step forward? With what they're good at? I assume you're all good at everything otherwise.
Go ahead. That is a great assumption.
Well, I've heard a lot of great things about many of you. I haven't had the pleasure of working with any of you before this, but you hear things around the office. You're all very capable. I think. Off of what I've heard.
Well, thank you.
That said, if anybody would like to say what they would like to do, I think.
I'll go. Strengths. I like to think I'm good talking to people as well. I wouldn't mind leading conversations.
We do have a lot of ground to cover and a lot of people to talk to, so perhaps it would be the best use of time if you split up and.
I also see a sort of good cop, bad cop situation here.
Oh, who's the good cop and who's the bad cop?
I can be whichever one you'd like.
You're the bad one.
I had a feeling you'd be interested in a good cop situation.
Yeah? Yeah. Thanks, Chris. I don't know. That's just what I heard.
What gives bad cop about this?
Every time I've tried to
stain on my shirt? What?
No. Just every time I try to talk to you today, it's been more of a, all right, let's get to the point. I'm a serious mode.
I'm focused. That makes me a hard ass.
No, you're intimidating. It's
Oh.
a good thing.
Okay.
Yes.
What Georgie
Luca,
said.
we've known you for all of an hour and a half.
In person, but I'm sure you've seen me around.
I think I've dreamt.
Yeah. Thank you, Agent Ann.
See, I'm not so bad. That was a joke. I cracked a joke. Would a bad cop crack a
Cracked a
joke?
joke. Laugh.
Fucking laugh. Yes.
Just
Dissonant whisper.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
So I don't mind being front facing.
We can tag team it.
We can tag team it. But I'm happy to, let someone else take the lead. Particular talents, funnily enough, I can, I like to hang out in other people's minds sometimes and, exercise that with discretion, obviously, but I would say psychic stuff is a bit up my alley. And shortcomings, I don't really have many, to be honest.
Wonderful.
No,
Another joke.
yeah, that was...
I'm starting to catch on.
You get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm gonna be able to look at an object and discern its intricacies as well as Karakinos.
And I would like to go into the case with a clear understanding of these other 5 bodies. I think that's an important line to establish early on with local officials, and I would prefer to not cross that line if it's.
Sorry, I thought you meant the other 5 bodies in this dive rail car.
No.
The stiffs.
The stiffs, yes. I think it's important that we get a good understanding of how much we're allowed to look into that, because obviously it can be very exciting. You know, and we don't want to get excited if there's really not a road to travel there. I think hopefully everyone would agree with that.
Certainly.
How about you, Cade? What are you good at?
Well, I suppose talking to anybody has already been taken 2 or 3 times over.
You can take it.
I would love to hear you talk more.
You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you. Yep. I've traveled around a lot. I can't say I've spent a lot of time in this particular area. But I think of myself as a man of the people. I've mingled with those of highbrow and lowbrow status and gotten many of them to trust me. So, need to go into seedier parts of town or out into the wilderness, which is quite a bit on this island, if you all remember. You'll find my uses.
Agent Barrett, I'm very happy to hear, knowing very little about you before, about what I did know about you before. That was a crazy sentence.
The circles that you speak in.
What I mean to say is I thought meeting you, you'd be a rough and tumble, angry man. But I'm happy to hear, seems you have a passion for the goodness of people, and that's why you get so fired up. And that's truly worthy of something.
If someone deserves my anger, they'll get it.
So what do you suck at?
Magic.
Oh.
Fair. All right.
Magic.
My infernal lineage has granted me pockets, flashes, but I am not a purveyor of magics.
Well, if there is currently an active culprit on the loose, it may come down to you to chase them down, depending on...
I am fast.
Okay, so, muscle.
Yes.
Spare toes.
Oh, I thought that was implied. I thought everybody just knew that.
Oh, we can see them.
It was implied.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
All right.
Strengths, similar to Agent Anders. Can do a bit of mind stuff. Maybe if we're splitting up, it would be useful to have us on different teams. Can get in the minds. Can do a bit of healing, although oftentimes I need that for myself. And investigating the crime scenes themselves. Gonna pull the little microscope out of my pocket.
No, you can't.
I go to reach for it. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
You all get one of those.
Okay.
I go to reach for it, and then it's not there, and I feel the lack, the emptiness.
That's a good note. That reminds me, I can't heal for shit, so...
That's what I'm here for.
You?
And
Anyone else? Oh, good.
well as-
All right, I can heal. people
Excellent.
As well.
Great.
That's, all right, I lied. I can do a little magic.
I can heal in a pinch as well.
I guess I should also explain, in a fight, I shine, making you all shine. But I will not be doing a lot of damage, if that's what you're looking for.
I remember. We just did that.
Yeah, I stood back and hid behind a table.
Were you not the one that finished him off?
Yeah, I had a little starry little moment.
Starry wisp there?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I just got lucky. I did. I'd finished off that big boy, but only because you opened up
Finished that big boy.
Yeah, you opened up a pocket that I saw I could sneak a starry bolt right into.
That's not how I remember it, but my memory's not great, so.
You were also covered in gore, and it was quite something.
It's true.
We loosened the lid for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in a similar fashion, combat-wise, I help create openings. I have ways that I can help you all do better. I also can take some good shots on my own, but for the most part, I'm going to be trying to create openings.
I like openings.
Who likes to set up a fight? Sorry, but out of curiosity.
Sorry?
Who likes to set up a fight?
Like, start a fight?
Yeah. Or well,
You
when a
wanna-
fight has been established,
You
who
wanna-
likes to step
you
in
wanna-
early?
You want to fight?
Yeah.
We've got 3 hours.
A little sparring match? No? All right. I still don't understand the question.
When a fight breaks out, does anyone have a preference? Anyone like to jump in first, or
Be up close and personal, or just be first to act?
wow, you guys? So going first, timing wise.
Face first.
Ah.
That's me.
Well,
I do some battlefield control.
I would say either I love jumping in early because
Early.
then I can
That's
manipulate
a good word
the
for it. Early.
I can
Who likes to
manipulate
go
the
early?
battlefield,
Also
you know,
happy
before
to-
you all step in.
Happy to go first before there's a lot of people nearby, you know, for a range of wide range of things.
Also, yes, we didn't hear about your shortcoming.
Oh, pass.
You have none.
Pass.
That is a fair answer, Luca.
I'm just trying to get to know you all. Good to know. You have no shortcomings.
Oh, I haven't shared. Well, like I said, I'm good at listening. And I'm good in a pinch. We were working a lot of active, dangerous cases. I'm good there.
And when you say a pinch, could you expand on that?
Like, for example, if you were to expire, I could have you unexpire.
That is a pinch for sure. All right.
What role do you generally feel most comfortable taking during an investigation? Do you prefer to work with people? Do you prefer to work with evidence?
Evidence.
Evidence.
All right.
You also seem remarkably loyal. I would add that to your strengths.
Thank you.
And my favorite question, shortcomings?
When I discover them, I will let you know.
Fantastic.
Let's kind of take a moment, just sort of having heard that, some idle chatter, you find a seat. Some time has passed, and a couple times, Luca, give me a perception.
Let go. I think it's, oh wait, no.
First roll?
I was gonna say my first roll, but
We had a
we
whole
had a whole
combat.
combat.
Ding dong.
First time playing D&D.
That's pretty bad. I can't, in the moment, add a bardic inspiration. I don't think so.
Has to be, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta set yourself up for it.
Okay. In that case, it's pretty bad. 7.
Okay. As you guys continue to sort of wait the dive line out, kind of a couple times rocks back and forth as you can feel it sort of turning, moving its way underneath the continent or along the sort of coastline there. You continue forward, an hour passes, another hour. This is a short rest if anyone needs to apply any short rest.
Nice.
So we can spend up to 3 of our hit die currently at level 5, or we can spend 2.
It's a 4th.
I think you can.
Are we rounding up or down?
Oh, is it half?
It's half.
Oh, okay.
You get back a.
Oh, yeah.
You can spend 1 or more of your hit die when you to regain hit points. For each hit die point, for each hit point. Whoa. For each hit point dice you spend in this way, roll the die, add your Constitution modifier. You gain hit points equal to the total minimum of 1, and you can spend as many as you want.
Oh, it's the healing
healing
surge. That's got it.
Yes, this we are not using the optional healing rule, meaning you do not get short hit dice back on a short rest.
Oh my god, not even one.
None. Yeah, we're not
You
doing
just
any
get
of
them.
the
You
optional
just get them
healing.
all on the
all back
long
on the
rest.
long
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Brutal.
Actually,
Well, I'm missing.
That's all I get.
We do add our con to it, yeah?
yes.
Yes.
stupid spell casting. Do I get my spell slot back? I'm trying to. I don't think on a short rest.
You
right?
do not.
Yeah. Okay. I get my sorcery points back, but I didn't use any yet.
I got exactly up to my max with my mercy with
Wow.
my mercy monk. I didn't have to spend any
job.
hit die. It was perfect.
Mother.
The sending stones they charge on a day.
Long rest. Yeah, dawn. Each dawn. Yeah, basically.
Oh my.
And sorcery points are long rest too, by the way. I think.
I think that it's.
Just take the W.
Sorcerer's Restoration. When you finish a short rest, you can regain expense.
Yes, but that sorceress restoration you can only use once per long rest. Yes.
Oh yes.
So if you take multiple short rests, you can only use that
Got
one
it.
time. But yes. Your constitution is off.
Which one are they?
The range.
Oh
shit. You can have some.
Are you okay?
Your max isn't that big anyway, so like, think of it percentage-wise. That makes you feel a little better as a wizard or sorcerer. Sorry, that's what I used to do.
Whatever you are. You guys hear the sounds of the dive line re-emerging from underneath the water, and the shutters come down the side, and just like that, you've arrived in an entirely different island. Not too much different right away, because Haldsu is a pretty big place, and the place where the dive line is a large city. Akota is one of the largest cities. Haldsu's dive line stations might not be quite as spectacular in appearance as they are in Bala Caldera, but they're neck and neck when it comes to the amount of traffic that goes through them, because Haldsu is very, very centralized location around all of the islands in the archipelago. This town, Akota, is the smallest of the three major settlements, but even still, the chaos of those lining up for arrivals and departures is dizzying, the amount of people all kind of waiting their turn to move to some of the other islands. The towns here have less verticality than they do in Bala Caldera. The people generally favor some more spaced out urban planning, not quite as many sort of taller buildings, and it gets rural very quickly as you move beyond the city limits. After disembarking from the dive line, you locate a transport service. You flash your badges to rent a carriage on the OEI's tab, thus beginning the next leg of your journey at a slightly less blistering pace. Haldsu, despite being highly populated and well-developed in a few certain areas, maintains a very low STS rating, which you've seen on your sheets. That's settled and travel safe. Because the island is so big and the terrain is so tumultuous, these large swaths of land are difficult to live in or traverse without incident. There's mountains and forests and swamps and very, very dense areas that nobody lives in or rarely travels through. The zigzagging rivers and pockets of small mountain ranges dominate the topography. You take a moment to peer out from behind the curtained carriage windows. And the terrain never flattens out enough to get a good sense of the size and scope of the place. It always kind of hides behind several layers of hills and mountains. To that end, your arrival in the town of Humbor sneaks up on you a bit, even after spending another couple of hours in the wagon with minimal stops. This little lowland prairie with a modest stream splitting it right down the middle. There's a dense pocket of buildings in one spot, and then the homes disperse and scatter off to the northwest. From a distance, it looks almost like a comet with a tail that peters off the further you get from the center of town. It looks like the majority of Humber's citizens have chosen to avoid settling closer to some of the denser southeastern forests, possibly because of, a habitat for some more dangerous creatures. The carriage drops you off at the local command post, and after raising a few eyebrows at your declared reasons for being here, an officer leads you over to the back left corner of the office, where a dwarven man looks to be working his way through a mountain of paperwork. He's got dirty blonde hair and a round beard that grows more sideways than it does down, perhaps in his 40s, with a large brass pin on his chest that depicts it looks like a bison or a buffalo, the emblem of the Akota Auxiliary Forces. And the officer that escorts you over, sir, these OEI detectives are here to discuss the Deshi Perim case? They're from, I'm sorry, what unit did you say you were a part of?
IMP.
IMP.
IMP. They're from the IMP, sir. And the man kind of looks up at you. And that's where we're going to take a little break before we talk to our local contact here in Humbor.
Whoa.
We've arrived at the town where the case is set.
Ooh.
We'll get some details from the local law enforcement, and then it's up to you guys.
Whoa.
Oh,
Guys,
no.
we're doing it.
I think this guy did it.
I think we'll solve it. I think we'll solve it by the end of the episode.
That's a
really.
suspicious.
We got it. We got it.
Does that seem true?
So there's
Yes,
some
Mike.
people here who are looking into the people I killed.
Got him.
To those
thought
all
we
those
got away
nasty,
with it.
disgusting little pieces of shit that died when they should have.
We're going to take a quick break, do the same, join us after the break, enjoy a little break time video.
It's the same as last week.
Yeah.
We'll have fresh
But it's-
beers and stuff, I promise you.
Each week a little piece by piece, a new campaign, a lot of steps.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll jump right in after the break. See you then.
See ya.
Think about becoming a YouTube member. If you do, you'll get access to moments like this.
I really had to clear the air.
You're denying that you said I love bears 4 seconds after you said it just like blew my mind.
Oh my god!
I was like, that was literally the last thing you just said.
Talon, you mean like the animal, like the regular animal?
What did you say?
I said like bears.
And he
Like
goes,
how-
oh, I love a bear. And I was like, what kind of bears? He's like, what?
We can get you access to Notch and Soda, but not for free. You have to pay for it.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tabletop Notch presents Bloody Be the Turnips. BB the Tease. Before we dive back in.
Welcome Raiders. Robert raided us. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
man.
how you doing?
Yes,
An
how are you?
investigation in the early stages. If you like a good mystery, if you want to outflank our very astute Discord.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Feel free to puzzle it together.
Brand the Dino resubscribed. Nice Ross 20 bits. Battle Panda Lose 20 bits. Soulboy Smallbird 20. This must have been for your Big Nat 20 baby. Team Toxic 20 bits. Silver Sky 20 bits. And then 30 bits. Bow Maniac gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much. Definite. God damn, every time.
Demonstration.
Defenestrate. What is it?
Defenestration.
Defenestration.
What is that?
Defenest. It's when you throw yourself out of a window.
Yes, but I say, where is the
It's
emphasis?
that would be
It's
self-defenestration.
Auto-defenestration.
Auto-defenestration, yes.
Oh.
Because you can defenestrate someone else. Sure.
Yes.
It sounded like a fart thing to me. It sounded like.
Auto-defecation.
Defecation. Defenestration resubscribe. Thank you. Tony 2's resubscribe.
How about you
Hello, man.
defenestrate
And
yourself?
Codeman resubscribe. Thank you
Just
guys
get
very,
back
very
in the window.
much.
Yeah.
Defenestration.
That's the answer to this case. Everyone
Everyone got defenestration.
Everyone
He
was
jumped out a
auto-
window at the fundraiser.
Also, 5 more days and for 35% off 5 plus gifted subs.
Oh, that's why we're getting low.
Because I just looked right here and it says that.
Oh, wow.
You solved it.
I solved it.
Oh.
Of course, you solved the case
It's
of the
saving
5
money by
gifted
gifting
subs.
subs now.
Thank you all very much. Yeah, appreciate it very much. We dive back into the sort of local law enforcement setup that they've brought up here in Humbor. It's not sort of their official post. They operate outside the place itself, but they've set this up for the case itself. A lot of people in here that you've passed by seem to have papers out, a lot of names and pictures that you recognize, sketches that people have up on the wall. But you get to this man in the back, this dwarven man who's been escorted by an officer over to him. And he looks to you sort of after hearing about the IMP, which clearly doesn't register to him. It's not necessarily a unit he's heard of before, but then he...
Back so soon. Fellas didn't get enough nothing the last time you were here. Where's Detective Goldpike? Shouldn't he be here if you're following up?
He's moved on to something else. We are a new and specialized team here to help.
All right. Well, grab a couple of chairs, have a seat, I suppose.
Thank you.
I take it you're familiar with the case file.
Yes, very.
You all threw it back to us after Goldpike came up empty, but in his defense, we haven't made a lot of progress, or we really haven't made any progress since he left, so no shade thrown toward Mr. Goldpike. If you don't mind me asking, what is this? 6 detectives? Some unit that I've never heard of? Did this case get some bad play in the papers in Valo Caldera or something?
Not at all. We're just a group, a new group thrown together to help out these specialized cases where they couldn't turn up as much evidence as they would have liked. So they send the 6 of us out to try a couple things out.
All right.
You and the people of this town deserve to have something come out of this.
And we're the outside of the box thinkers.
I suppose we could use a little bit of that. Whatever it is, we'll take the help if you're offering. Okay. What can I tell you that you don't already know from the case file?
Well,
Where would you like to start?
I think there's a lot of things we'd like to cover, so let's just pick one and then move forward. The other victims.
Okay.
It would be helpful to know what were their occupations. Do we know how they felt about any of the particular candidates in the election? Did any of them have anything connected to Deshi's policies that they would maybe have strong feelings about? Anything of that nature?
Yeah, we looked into that. I mean, Goldpike took a look into that. Most of them were regular working folk. A variety of ages, anywhere from 26 to 48, I think. I mean, you had a horse trainer, you had a smithy, you had a fisherman, you had, I think one of them was an herbalist of some kind. And then another one, I think, worked at the inn in town, in the main town square, as a janitorial type. Again, nobody that seemed like they'd be particularly affected one way or the other by Ms. Perim's policies, Councilwoman Perim's policies.
And building off of that, these 5 people were never, their lives were never taken within their homes, but the places where they were found.
That's correct.
Were they nearby their homes or places of work? Or?
Yes. No, all of them near their homes.
Near
None of them near their places of work, as far as we could tell.
How near are we talking? A couple of feet, a mile?
Somewhere between those. We had one that was in a cornfield, right by the house, maybe a stone's throw. One that was by a riverbank just out back. Another one that was in the stables behind their own home. One that was down at a dock that stuck out into a nearby lake. And then one by woods nearby, thicket. I mean, all of them, like I said, stone's throw. I mean, you could pick up a stone and toss it to any of these places. It didn't seem like the killer went out of their way to make sure that nobody found him.
Were you able to confirm that they died in those places, or was it possible they were moved there?
It's possible, but we didn't see a lot of evidence of that. Blood-stained drag marks, nothing like that.
And then we see that Quimby, this is the only one who was not killed via blunt force trauma to the head.
Mr. Boyle, that's correct. He had evidence of blunt force, but that wasn't the only source of the injuries like it was with the others. There was lacerations, cuts,
Where on the body?
Sharp indentations all over the body. Honestly, it looked like an animal attack. It didn't look like real clean cuts like you'd see with a sword or a blade.
But that's not mentioned here because it's obvious that blunt force trauma was the ultimate thing that did them in.
Possibly, yeah.
And
like I said, there was indeed evidence, and the jaw was removed, yes. We thought that perhaps after the person was killed, some animal came upon it and started chewing on the body.
About the jaw versus the other 4, was that cleanly removed on the other 4, and this one a bit more messy, like an animal might have done it?
No, I would say it was clean like the others.
Was Mr. Boyle the smithy, the herbalist, or the inn janitor?
That was the smithy.
I assume the horse trainer then would be Mr. May, as they were found in the stables.
That's correct.
Mr. Pratt, fisherman, and then Miss Sutton?
You've got that right.
Sutton was the
inn?
herbalist?
Janitorial.
Oh, janitorial.
As a smithy, I assume that Mr. Boyle would have been probably the most physically formidable of the 5. that
That's what I was thinking.
might have put up a fight more than the others.
If you made me pick, I'd say that was the case, yes.
The blunt force trauma, was it on the same side on every head?
Yes, it was.
Which side?
Well, for the 4 that were hit clean, it was on the right side of the head.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Boyle, because it didn't seem like it was a one-and-done clean strike, there were several. One down by the collarbone, one on the shoulder, one on the top of the head.
And you go.
No.
Go.
I was just going to say that gives us a good indication as to whoever the culprits, their preferred method of attack, the side that they favor.
Yes, I suppose that's true.
The heights of the 5 victims, close in stature?
I would say mostly close, except there's a dwarf and a halfling.
Okay.
Mr. Boyle was a halfling, so smaller in size, but formidable in his stature, and Ms. Bright is a dwarf, so shorter than the humans and the tiefling.
How would you be able to give an estimate of the tallest height?
Probably...
Compared to one of us, let's say?
Mr. May was probably about as tall as... I'm sorry. Agent
Barrett.
Agent Barrett, nice to meet you.
Going back to the physicality, was there signs of a struggle? Any fingernail?
Other than Mr. Boyle, no. None.
So, that blow on the right side might have come from behind on the other 4.
I think that's possible. Alternatively, we had the thought that they knew the person, trusted them, and therefore didn't have their guard up.
Right.
But we don't know who that would have been.
For the jaw removal, you said it was very clean. Did
Clean
you
as it
see
can
marks of an instrument? Did it appear to be ripped off cleanly? Could you tell a distinction between any of those?
It was difficult to tell given the extent of the damage, but we thought perhaps they put some kind of chisel up to the jaw and struck the back of it with a weapon. Several times, if need be. The lower faces of all of them were a bit of a mess.
No, with all of them, they all could have gone a couple days without anybody seeing them, so we don't have an exact time that they had gone missing. Had any of them been seen after the night of the fundraiser?
Not to our knowledge, no. 3 of them lived alone, and 2 of them, one lived with a fiancé and one lived with, I guess, a friend or a roommate. So those ones were discovered earlier because there was someone to come back and find the bodies.
With the horse trainer, the one with the stables, what were the horses trained for?
All kinds of things. Some of them trained for the transit service we have in town. Some of them trained for long-distance riding. A lot of people make the trip to some of the neighboring towns and need a good horse for it, but don't have one of their own.
So there is only one transit service then. So the one that the letter was written to, the one that was supposed to pick up Miss Perim, that's the only transit service in town.
Certainly the only one of note, yes. Otherwise, you'd be asking a favor of someone rather than an official service.
Did we get the name of that service?
Yes, of course.
And if you travel to a farther service, it'd take quite a while to get from here to there.
Yes, clarify that for me.
Sorry, answer his question first.
Buckley's Trusted Transport is the name of the service. Bryce Buckley's been a resident of Humboldt for his whole life, as far as I know.
And forgive me, I just meant, yes, hiring or using carriage most likely come from Buckley's. And anything outside of that would take a long travel to another city.
Some people who have a little bit of money have their own private carriages, but as far as the service goes, yes, there isn't another one that I know of in Humboldt.
Right.
If you knew somebody you could borrow one from, maybe then.
Do you know of anybody else in town who does have a carriage?
There's some wealthier citizens of Humboldt. I would say there's quite a few.
Okay, so we'd be looking at a private carriage. Are the wealthier citizens, do they tend to be grouped in an area, or are they sort of spread around town?
I would say the larger estates are mostly to the southeast of the center of town. That's where also the fundraiser was, the estate. That's a little bit to the southeast. As far as I know, she does not have a private carriage of her own.
The councilwoman?
No, the woman who owns the estate, who hosted the fundraiser.
Do Buckley's carriages, are they distinguished in any way? Is there a logo or any sort of decoration on them that would let you know that it's of that service?
No logo as far as I know. I'd say compared to some of the private owners, they're a little weathered. You know, they've seen some days.
But if it was in the dark, perhaps one would have trouble distinguishing one of those carriages from another carriage?
I think that's possible, unless it was a particularly ornate carriage that clearly did not come from Buckley's transport.
And is there a place in town here where a new carriage could be fashioned? Is there a person that has a lumber yard and also works with wood that would be interested?
There's a couple lumber mills. I mean, timber leases are a big part of the economy here in Umbor, and I mean, a carpenter's could. Carriages are big. That'd be hard to do so without people noticing. Or an order being placed.
Are we in a place where we could change the questioning to asking about the fundraiser, or is there more here that people would like
I
to
have
ask?
one more.
Please.
How surprising is it to you that the bodies were otherwise unharmed? It seems like there's a lot of wildlife in the area. It seems likely to me that if a body was there 24 hours even, something might have gotten to it.
I think that's possible. I think it's possible that happened to the body in question. I think the others were close enough to people's properties, people's homes, that there was enough foot traffic in the area to keep your average beast from coming in out of the woods.
Was Mr. Boyle one of the victims? Was Mr. Boyle one of the victims who lived alone?
No. Mr. Boyle was found, I don't think first, but maybe second. Mr. Boyle lives with, I guess, a friend, a roommate.
Do you happen to know their name, or?
I do. Yes, we have their name. Make sure I pick up the right ones. Since there's a
He's
lot of
lying.
them. Blair.
Blair.
Townsend.
Do you know their occupation by chance?
They work at one of the taverns in town. That's why I suppose there was opportunity for someone to attack Mr. Boyle at the residence, given that he was working nights at the tavern.
Sure, that definitely provides an opportunity.
And the distance between all of these sites, were they close to each other? Would it take considerable travel to get from one to the other?
We tried to chart that, maybe thinking that there was more than one attacker. Our estimates put all the bodies within 48 hours, which is more than enough time to get from place to place. All of them were within, 30 minutes of the center of town, so some of them on the opposite sides. It would have taken a few hours, for sure. But given the time frame is rather inspecific, I'd say it wasn't out of the realm of possibilities that one person could have done it.
Have you looked at the bodies, the placement on a map?
Physically, you mean?
Sure, if you were to plot the bodies on a map of the town.
Oh. Sort of looks up in the map there. Shows it to you. Doesn't make like a shape or anything that jumps out at you or any kind of like.
It's a middle finger. 2, 3, 4.
Kind of rough. But you can see center of town here. Buildings that kind of go off to the northwest. Got 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. I mean, all over.
Nothing in the southeast, however. The southeast where the fundraiser was.
That's true, yeah. Southeast, like I said, that's mostly some of the wealthier residences. I suppose someone like that might be less inclined to trust a stranger at their door if someone came knocking looking for help or pretending to be somebody. But
And what kind of fundraiser was this?
it was a fundraiser for some of the projects that Miss Perim had planned, some of her campaign promises.
Okay, so this was... how long had the election been over before this all happened?
Pretty recent, a month and a half.
So she was still very new to the job.
Yes, very.
Was this the first fundraiser that she had held like this?
The first big one, yes. She'd had a couple smaller ones in town at some of the local establishments.
This friend who was hosting it, are they also involved in politics at all, or?
Not to my knowledge. That's Aliastra Galloway. Old friend of hers that I guess they served a little bit of time in the military service. And no, she does not work in politics. She's, from what I understand, for a while she would go up into the mountains to gather very rare herbs and minerals that could only be found up there, which made her quite a bit of money. Now she has a number of people working for her that go get them, so she no longer makes the trek herself. But in her younger days, she was very ambitious and braved the elements and the dangers of the mountains to bring back some very rare and valuable items.
Aliastra, you said?
Aliastra, yeah. They call her Allie.
Allie. Now, Allie and Deshi, both retired military.
Yes, both ex-military.
Do you know much about their record? Do they have a particular reputation at all?
A little bit. From what I understand, Allie was less involved in active service. She was a combat medic. Treated wounds back at whatever camps that they were stationed at. And then Miss Perim herself, she was involved in a unit called the 11th Garrison. Primary function was defending against and taking active measures against goblin clans that were cropping up in Ahaltsu. Anytime they were consolidating too much power under the leadership of one goblin leader, they would go in and break them up, I suppose you could say. The 11th had a fairly ruthless reputation. I wouldn't say cruel or barbaric, but I would say you don't call in the 11th if you don't plan on having a fight.
And how are the goblin clans faring these days in these parts?
Pretty quiet, but it comes and goes.
I assume that the 11th is still active.
Certainly
Miss Perim
is.
just retired.
Yes.
It's never gotten as far as goblin raids on cities, has it?
Humbor has never had a significant goblin raid. Some of the smaller villages to the north have been attacked and sometimes call in the services of garrisons here in Humbor and beyond. It's a running problem in Ahaltsu in general.
How long had Miss Perim been out of the military at this point?
Something like 4 or 5 years,
Still fairly recent. Okay.
I suppose.
She must have been quite formidable then, if that was.
I understand that was the case. I think she rallied a lot of support in town thanks to her military history. People felt like she made Humbor a safer place.
Would you mind giving us a brief overview on some of those campaign promises, what she ran on her platform?
The big one's the aqueduct. Humbor, as it grows bigger and bigger, the temperature's temperate, the climate's good, soil fertile, people are coming to Humbor. And the water reserves are getting strained. Some of the usual rivers and reservoirs and lakes is not enough to go around all the time. It's slowly getting siphoned away. There's been a project proposed to build a very, very large and long aqueduct that connects Humbor to the reservoir to the northeast. It's a reservoir that's not currently being used by any one town in particular, so nobody's fighting over it. Now, the aqueduct would be very, very, very expensive to make, but potentially extremely lucrative to the citizens of Humbor once it's completed. They would have to both raise a path through the forest and then build the aqueduct itself. So this is no small project. Some people felt like it was a bit of a fool's errand, that the money involved and labor involved, it would never get done in time, or it never would be done in a timely manner. Certainly didn't trust the local council to handle it. But I guess Deshi convinced enough people that the project could be done. And that was the primary motivation for the fundraisers.
Was the runner-up candidate, was this one of those people who thought the aqueduct was a bad idea?
He had a slightly different plan. He was a little more conservative in his scope and vision for it. He had an idea to establish a kind of constant running, government-employed system of transporting water from the reservoir back to home. Not building an actual aqueduct, but filling up barrels and barrels and barrels and bringing it back down. Obviously less effective in the long run, but you see immediate results right away. People are already doing it, although in much smaller quantities.
No. So my understanding is he currently is a member of the Treasury Board.
That's correct, yes.
Would he need to approve? Would this board need to approve this project for the aqueduct to happen? How does this work?
The Treasury would have their say, but ultimately, if the council voted on it and had enough people in support, they would pay for it. Perhaps through raising of taxes or borrowing against the Treasury, however they felt like could get the project off the ground faster.
And so it looked like that was happening. It looked like the aqueduct was.
She certainly was trying. Yeah.
These 5 other victims, do they have any record of opposing or supporting vehemently?
Not that we could tell. There was some vehemently anti-Perim groups, and we looked into some of those. One of them actually went to the fundraiser to sort of disrupt the event a little bit. But we spoke to that person, Agent Goldpike's Zone of Truth, that person. We didn't find anything there.
That was Kimber?
No.
Thistle?
Not one of
Not one of
those.
the candidates.
An anti-Perim.
Yes, this was an outspoken political opponent, not one of the candidates,
I see.
but someone who, I guess, was very vocally against the policies set out by Deshi Perim.
Do you have a name for them?
I do, yes. And we spoke to them, Zone of Truth them. That was Junior Santos.
The woods that Quimby Boyle was found in, those wouldn't be the same woods that would have to have the aqueduct construction through them. Different area?
Different part.
Our paperwork says there were 2 outspoken critics who were Zone of Truth.
There was another one, just not another one that showed up to the fundraiser to make their voice heard.
Who was the other one?
The other one was Louisa Allen.
Louisa was not at the fundraiser.
No.
But they were both Zone of Truth.
Yes, at some of the, I guess, debates and political meetups, Louisa made her voice heard in the audience, asked a few scathing questions to Miss Perim, but did not seem to be involved or did not show her face at the fundraiser.
No, these other candidates, Thistle. We understand this is an engineer people are familiar with. Surprise entrance. What was the scandal that disrailed that campaign?
From my understanding, Mr. Menteb had a very small period of service in one of the local militias, and in an effort to boost his image, overplayed the level of service that he accrued. Said that he had served the military for a longer period of time and in a more active capacity than he actually did.
And so that got exposed, and then that
Folks
lost
did
a lot
not
of respect.
appreciate that. They did not, no.
I
That
imagine-
sunk his campaign pretty quickly.
I imagine, especially when you're running against somebody else who has quite a decorated military history.
I understand that that was the impetus for him lying in the first place, was he felt like he would be lagging behind if he didn't have something to show for in his record of military service.
Do you know what he has been doing since then?
He works in town. He works on some of the public works projects. There's a fountain in the market square that he designed or helped design. Some of the bridges that go over the river that runs through town. Does a lot of civil engineering.
So he likely would actually stand to benefit if the aqueduct happened because he would likely be working on it.
I think he would, yes. He could probably make a lot of money as well as the people that he works with. Assuming, it gets built.
And now this final candidate, Kimber, forger, apothecary.
Yeah.
What is there? What was the issue that they? It says that they ran mostly to try and get word out about an issue. What was their pet issue?
Environmental concerns.
That-
Raising the forests to make room for the aqueduct.
So they were opposing the aqueducts for environmental reasons.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, they even opposed the less aggressive approach of making some safe roads to ferry the barrels up and down from the reservoirs. just an unpopular opinion to have no solution to the water crisis at all.
I see, but they were wanting to preserve the ecosystem rather than make Humber more prosperous necessarily.
I think that's how people saw it, yeah.
And you would classify it as a crisis as of now. If something is
Right
not
now,
done.
they're okay, but they need to come up with solutions for it. That was the number one issue in the election.
Matt, while this is happening, is there how enclosed are we? Can I see if there's anyone that's having an extra ear on this conversation, or if there's anything beyond this happening?
Give me a perception check. It's open, like the office is open, but you're in a secluded corner. Like there isn't people immediately around you. But go ahead and give me a perception check.
It's not great. It's a 10.
10. The only thing you really notice is some people that occasionally look over and sort of.
Okay.
Like people who are confused as to your presence. That's the only thing you kind of pick up on.
Like local law enforcement.
Yeah, people that are surprised that someone from the OEI has been sent, or that someone's following up on this beyond, their regular duties.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think we're definitely starting to get a clearer picture of what exactly was happening in this town.
Do we know how much money was raised at this fundraising event?
I understand a lot, but that would be a better question for Miss Galloway.
It says here that the woman who owns this estate where the fundraiser was,
Miss Galloway. Deshi,
a lot of names. Deshi had left the event at an expected hour. Now, was that expected because the fundraiser was coming to a close, or the night was approaching that time? What time were we talking?
From what she told us, there was primary duration of the fundraiser when the majority of the donors and people in support showed up. Then a lot of them left, and there was a short period afterward where Deshi and Miss Galloway and a few other closer friends and people that were in her inner circle stayed to discuss how much money they brought in, what they planned to do first, what their next fundraising event might be. And then after that is when Mrs. Perim left the property, and that was at an expected hour, at least for this smaller inner circle.
But later in the evening, moon high in the sky, night, fall.
It was likely very dark outside by the time Miss Perim left the estate.
Have there been any other missing persons or violent crimes in the month or so since discovering these?
Killing violent? Not a single one. Not between citizens. We've had some creature attacks. It's just normal in a place like this. But no, nothing like that. No disappearances, no murders, no assaults to the point of permanent injury. Scuffles, bar fights.
Does Mrs. Perim have an assistant? Someone who would pen such a letter from the transit to the transit company?
I think there's people at the office of the council that would do something like that for her.
How large is the council? How many people sit on it?
There's 9 people on the council.
And were they only electing for one position on the council this time around?
Yes.
Are the rest of them, have they been tenured for fairly long? Is anybody else recent?
It varies. Some of them have been there a while. I understand that as long as you garner good faith from the citizens, you can stay there for quite a long time. Occasionally they hold a kind of referendum vote to say we're happy with how they're doing things or not. And if not, there can be an election to replace you on the council.
Was there somebody that Perim unseated?
No, that person voluntarily stepped down. An older gentleman who was in poor health.
Is he still alive?
He is not. Natural causes, as far as we know.
He's missing his jaw.
Very natural removal of the jaw.
His head just did that.
He died in his sleep.
Yeah.
Without a jaw.
Without a jaw. Right.
Have there been other incidents of post-murder jaw removal in the last few years here?
Not a single one. Humber just usually isn't that kind of town. That's a pretty extreme measure. To know that someone might be using as speak with dead spell. I mean, not
Clearly.
everybody can do that.
Clearly, they expected an investigation and they are trying to get ahead of it.
I think so.
You said the main issue was the water crisis. What was Thistle's solution for it or stance on it when he was running? That's the only one that we haven't. Mr. Mente.
Thistle, not Kimber.
Mr. Mente, yes.
Yes, I think Thistle was more in the camp of the ferrying or system of getting water down than he was the building of the Ackerman.
Curious. You'd figure as an engineer, you would have a lot to gain.
I think some people thought that, and at the same time, I think people thought that was too extreme a stance to take. That for someone like him to say, we need this much money and this much time and this much labor, that was a big ask. That he was a less established name as Deshi Perim, so to ask for that much money, not to mention the fact that it might look like he was seeking to benefit from him himself.
So you would say Deshi was fairly well. You said she was an established name. Deshi was well known before running for election here?
People certainly knew her in Hamburg for her service, and she'd been a public figure.
What had she done in the intervening years between retiring and then running for the council?
She and her husband, Andrew, they worked and owned a timber lease. When she started to run for office, he worked the timber lease himself. She started campaigning.
Whereabouts is the timber lease? Is it the woods around here?
Yes, a section to the east.
That's not the land that would be affected by the aqueduct, is it?
No, not unless they decided to take a bit of a circuitous route. It wouldn't be directly through there. No.
It'd be north, you said, yes?
Yes, it's north and northeast, I suppose, as best as I can describe it.
Also, not the area where Quimby Boyle was found.
Nope.
All right. Is there any other pressing thoughts?
Knowing that the couple has a timber lease, do they have a carriage of their own?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know that she would have rented one if she had one, but that's just my guess.
Carriage would be more for persons and less for timber.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some wagons or people who work for them, but not the same as a transport carriage.
Right.
Was Mr. May, is that the only person who trained horses in town, or are there other supplies of horses around here as well?
I think there's some others, yeah. I wouldn't say that the transit service got their horses only from one place. In fact, I think that's quite unlikely. I think Buckley raises horses his own as well. It just takes time.
Do you know, does anybody else, was Mr. May the sole employee? The only person working at that? Was he raising those horses alongside somebody else? Did he have employees? Was he an employee?
He had his own property, and I think he might have had some stable hands, but they would come to his place of residence, which has a corral and a stable there where he raises them.
Okay.
Sir, what's the history of organized crime like in this town? Smuggling, laundry?
Non-existent. I mean, as much as it can be non-existent, in that it doesn't play a major part.
What sorts of creatures generally tend to harass people around here?
Okay. I mean, you get wolves, you get owlbears. There's some lower lands that when it rains, you get some elemental creatures creeping up around. Creates a kind of a quicksand effect in some of the lowland woods. You get mephits, you get mud elementals. And then on some of the higher raised terrains, you get cockatrices coming out of the woods.
Oh. Alright, so there's a lot of ways to get lacerations around here.
I suppose.
I guess the final thing I want to inquire about is who exactly here at the local law office was the one to receive the letter the morning of about the carriage situation with Deshi.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
It looked like from what we'd received that local law had received a letter that morning on this on city council stationery informing them that she had made her own arrangements.
They passed that on to us. The letter was delivered to the transit service, and later they showed that letter to us.
Okay.
I would like to clarify that letter situation a bit. So she would have been at the party and instructed someone or wrote a letter herself, which would have then been mailed to the transit, because the plan would have been up until hours before she left that she would have used the transit company, correct?
From Buckley's description of it, first of all, she didn't use the transit service to get there.
Okay.
She rode with, I guess, someone else, or maybe walked earlier in the day. Bryce said that early in the morning, somebody must have come by. The door of the transit service has a mail slot and a little drop box on the other side that if you need to make a request but nobody is there to receive you, you can leave a letter. And when they arrived that morning, that letter was in the drop box stating that they no longer needed to send a carriage later that evening.
So this letter was sent so late that the transit service had closed?
Or so early in the morning, rather. They don't know exactly when. It was dropped off sometime after the transit service closed and when they opened again the next morning.
Isn't it a bit unusual that they would have known they wouldn't have been able to reach anyone by that point?
What do you mean?
Well, if it was sent at such an unusual hour that it wasn't received until... It sounds like it was sent not during working hours. No one was there to receive the letter.
Yes, I think that's what they said, that no one was there to receive the letter.
It seems a bit unusual that they wouldn't have... Whoever was sending the letter wouldn't have realized it's going to arrive so late that the carriage will probably already be on its way. Am I misunderstanding?
Getting mixed up in
It
our
was the
time.
night before, as in
Ah,
the
it wasn't
morning
during
of the
fundraiser.
The morning
I
of
see,
the
I see.
fundraiser.
The
This
morning
was-
that
It was the
fun-
night
yes.
before, I see, not during the fundraiser. Got it.
And we spoke to the courier's office. Nobody asked them to deliver a letter, so the person likely hand-delivered the letter themselves to the drop box.
And this was the morning of the fundraiser. I see.
Or I suppose sometime in the night when it was closed.
How far is the council office?
Not particularly far. It's in the heart of town. 15, 20-minute walk.
I think I've got.
Enough to go on.
I have a few more questions. if you don't mind.
Yes, absolutely.
Please, anything we can give you.
Locate object was used at multiple points along the path. Was there a particular object you were looking for?
We did not have the magical know-how to do so, but Detective Goldpike attempted a couple things. He looked for a cloak. There's a cloak that the council members wear. Doesn't look like anything in particular, but I suppose he thought the trail was far enough away from town that by using the spell he wouldn't be alerted to a whole bunch of cloaks at once. Didn't find anything in particular. And then he also tried to find a rapier, which was Perim's weapon of choice. She kept one on her hip most of the time when she was traveling around, a sort of small epi-style rapier. And he did not find anything. And he walked along, I don't know if he walked the whole path, but certainly a length from the fundraising estate in the direction of her home.
It sounds like generally when routes were investigated, they were the routes they would have assumed she would have taken, the route from the fundraiser back to her estate. There wasn't much going off-road, was there, do you know of?
We didn't try to track too much off of the main roads. Sure. The ground and the soil's fairly soft. If someone took a carriage off of the main sort of gravel roads, you'd expect to see tracks. So we felt that was somewhat unlikely. We tried to see if there was any evidence of the carriage careening off in one direction, but we didn't follow through on that, I suppose, as thoroughly as we could have if we thought that might have happened.
I think the softness of the soil, I'm assuming if it rains even, that's going to kind of compromise any evidence there.
I suppose that's possible. We were already looking the day after she went missing. I mean, Miss Perim was reported missing by her husband just the next day.
Is her husband also ex-military?
I don't know, actually. I don't think we asked him that.
Andrew, yes?
Andrew Perim, yeah.
How has he been this past month? Has he been knocking down the door here? Has he held services for her?
No services, but you'll see him wander into the woods. because he'll take a pack, he'll take some kind of spear or pike, go into the woods and poke. There's quicksand out there, there's terrain that she might have fallen into. He's been on her search pretty much since the day she went missing.
What was his alibi for the night of the fundraiser?
He said he was home.
Anyone able to corroborate that?
No. Nothing other than a zone of truth, administered by Detective Goldpike.
All right.
I'd say we need to get to the council, no?
There's a few things we need to hit.
I mean, I'll be here if you need to come back. If it gets late enough, I'll probably retire, but I'll be here in the morning too. So if anything comes up, you let me know.
All right.
We appreciate the help.
Thanks, I guess. I hope you see something that we did.
We'll do our best.
Good hunting. Goes back. You guys take a moment to sort of work your way through the office, kind of looking around at some of the faces staring up at you, but you get back outside and doors of the office station kind of behind you there. Around each other.
Maybe start at the council.
You seem eager.
Well, it seems nearby. An easy hit. Talk to the people who may have written the letter, who may have delivered the letter.
I also wonder, scouting out Buckley's, was it the transportation service? Scouting out if are there homes nearby the area, anyone that would be early risers. I know it's a long shot, this was a month ago, but if anyone would have seen an unusual character that not expected to be delivering something that early in the morning, I don't know.
It's not a bad thought. If anybody could say they saw something suspicious, they would. It definitely seems like they delivered it in the middle of the night because they knew nobody would see them.
It didn't seem... Yeah, it's not like it was especially pressing that it needed to be delivered at that moment, so it's an interesting choice.
I can't imagine... did we get information about where Buckley is related to where the Perims live?
The Perims, I would say from the case file, the transit service is right in the, not in the exact center of town, but like in the main square of town.
Mm-hmm.
And the Perims have a house that's not sort of way off, but like a little bit off as the houses begin to kind of disperse and scatter a little bit. So they're not far from the center of town, but they're not like right in there like the transit service is.
It certainly feels like it would be odd for her to walk herself all the way over there instead of just dropping it off on the way to the fundraiser during the day.
I'm sorry, are you speaking as though Deshi dropped this off herself?
No, I'm saying it seems less and less likely that she would have been the one to do it.
I don't think she is the one who wrote or delivered the letter based on what it says, but it could have been.
Well, yes, I agree. I'm just saying that it makes this... If she were going to drop it off herself, there's no reason... That says it is written by her.
She would have signed it.
Yes, the assumption there is that she wrote it. She wouldn't need to make sure she wasn't seen if she was the one who was dropping it off.
It seems as though
So
if she wrote it, she was framing it as though her assistant wrote it. Based on the syntax. If you want to check it out.
It does say Councilwoman Perim will be staying longer as opposed to I will be staying longer.
If she fancies referring to herself in the third person.
And this is another thing we could take a look at our calligraphy and forging skills
Yes.
to see what her writing actually looks like.
Or
The main thing I'm trying to say is that if it was her or an aide, there's no reason for them to have done it in the middle of the night.
Unless
they
it
could
was
have done. They
needed
could
to
have.
be undercover, which is...
odd.
Which is why I'm saying there's no reason. They wouldn't need to be undercover because it wouldn't create any inconsistencies with what is in this note.
Mm-hmm.
It only creates an inconsistency if it is somebody else.
Agreed. Or if she specifically asked them to deliver it under the cover of night for some reason. We can find out was this dictated to them by her or by someone else.
Yes.
We all agree, right? Whoever wrote this and dropped it off knows a hell of a lot more than anybody else is letting on.
Yes, because the other thing with it as well that I realized, whoever did this, if it is somebody else, has to have had inside knowledge because they did not time the carriage pickup for the end of the fundraiser. They timed it for the end of the inner circle up after the fundraiser.
I'd also like to know if Galloway ever experienced Deshi or saw Deshi be like, oh, the carriage is here, or like any kind of like, she wasn't expecting it to arrive when it did, or any slight shift in her behavior. I don't know. I'd like to understand if Galloway had any information like that.
I see what you're saying, Karakinos, that, and I agree with you as well, Luca, that if they timed the carriage to arrive when she left, which was not the end of the fundraiser, they would have had to have some idea that she would be staying longer after the fundraiser.
I mean, they say that
Heavily
she
suggests-
does.
Yes, that she did, which suggests it, highly suggests it would have been one of the few people that stayed at the end of the fundraiser, the host or whoever else was remaining.
Or at least would be somebody with contact to somebody in there. It couldn't be somebody who was just purely on the outside, I don't think.
It could be somebody who got the information out of her husband.
It could be a lot of things. I think what we need to do is start looking.
Yes.
I do like the idea of trying to match this handwriting to somebody else at the council.
Yes, if we could get as many samples of writing for as many people there as we can, just check it against everybody, including Miss Perim, just to be thorough.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll learn a lot more if she has 2 aides and herself, and none of that handwriting doesn't match anyone. We'll learn a lot more than just standing here. Agent Bete, are you aligned with that, or is there something else you want to do?
No, I agree with everything that's been said so far. Also, we should check for accessibility of the parchment as well. Somebody could have easily lifted it.
Yes.
From the council, yes.
That's a good point. I had one other thought. There's not something we have to do now, but out of curiosity, is anybody here able to speak with animals? You can speak with animals?
I can.
We have
the horses?
I think we may have witnesses to one of the murders that have not been interviewed. If this body was found in the stables, perhaps the horses could tell us something.
Horses are famously not very talkative, but I can give it a try.
And how are their memories?
In an interest of, we're sticking to the letter of spells pretty specifically. And Speak with Animals says animals can recall events within the past 24 hours.
Ooh.
Really?
It specifies
man.
that? Wow.
It says at minimum. It says at minimum they can kind of give you.
What does that mean?
They put a 24-hour limit on it?
It's not like a hard limit, but most beasts have little to say about topics that don't pertain to survival or companionship. At minimum, a beast can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever is perceived within the past day. Events from months ago that are not related to its own survival, borderline unthinkable that they would be able to.
I would hope that if this owner got just murked right in front of him,
Also,
he'd be like, that might be a threat to my survival.
When a horse is on the stand in court, that's also just not.
Seems like the murderer also would have ripped the jaws off the horses were it necessary, because they know how to cover their magic tracks.
Horse jaws are real strong.
It was the horse.
One just
kick in the
firm
head.
hoof
Yeah,
to the
one
side.
hoof to the head.
No, one blind.
And then one of them had a knife.
Fucking.
I do think it is a bit of a concern to me that her husband is out looking for her.
Why the air quotes?
I would like to speak to the husband.
It would be the easiest thing in the world for him to tamper with a trail. If
Does
there
anyone have
was one.
speak with husband spell?
That was good. All right, that was good.
Because he's an animal.
I don't have it prepared.
If you can.
But I think it is important to note that if he is trying to hide something, the longer we go without talking to him, the more opportunities there are. He seems to have a free pass to be roaming around in the woods looking for her. If there was a trail,
I would like to know if he's ex-military as well.
Sure. I think
we
we shouldn't leave him alone too
specifically
long.
heard that he wasn't.
Oh, they didn't know.
Yeah,
He wasn't. No.
Is anyone here
Also-
particularly good at being stealthy or prepped invisibility? I mean, that could be something added onto tonight's list, is if he goes out,
I can do it.
Talon him.
Yes, none of those are my strengths.
Can
but-
do what?
Turn invisible. Or be not seen from.
I can stick to the shadows. I can't be invisible, but I can sneak around. I am surprised at your readiness to interrogate him as a suspect. Does a month of searching for your
I
lost loved one?
I don't think interrogate, but if he is going into the woods and compromising evidence, letting him know that we're here would probably discourage him from doing that for a day or two.
Or not letting him know we're here and he'll keep doing what he's doing and you can watch him there.
We can try catching him.
I mean, there may be merit to approaching him to ask a couple questions and then analyze his behavior the following hours.
I like the idea of putting him on his guard. People tend to fuck up more when they're nervous.
I would also say he did pass any kind of zone of truth questioning that the detectives.
Sure, but they're also allowing him to have free pass in the woods right now, so I question how much they actually interrogated him under zone of truth. I'm sure he had an alibi. I believe that.
Damn.
Do other people not have free passes in the woods on this island?
The fact that they're just allowing him to roam around because he's grieving, which he very well might be, but I think there's a reason this case went cold and we need to explore a lot of different angles here.
They don't even know about his past.
Well, one thing about his past, I guess.
His occupation.
Well, that he has a timber lease.
It's true.
Where did they meet?
They didn't know about
Was
it.
he in the military? How long have they known each other?
I mean,
I agree.
I would say, yeah, being able to just walk around the woods nearby your home, that seems like something that anyone has the ability to do.
I like that thinking. That's why you're a bad cop.
I just think
You're not a bad cop. You're just bad cop.
I'm
It's
not
a different thing. It's a
I just technique. I think that
All right.
Poor grieving
it's
man.
Why
all
don't
right.
we head
watch,
to the council
Watch
house?
that this guy did it, and I will be laughing my boots
Council
off
first,
on the
council
way back.
first. Georges
Are
is
you
heading.
guys going together? You can split. I mean,
What
with
time is it at this
discretion.
point? Or were you...
Probably like 3, 4 later afternoon.
Okay, later afternoon.
I mean,
Banking hours at the council.
I would like to look at handwriting.
I mean, you don't know if.
Yeah.
I think we would all learn something by going there. I would like, perhaps this evening, perhaps a subsequent one, maybe going and finding the tavern that this Blair works at.
Yes.
The roommate of Quinby. And maybe even approaching as, not as a law enforcement, and seeing if there's anything that he divulged or didn't divulge, or how he feels about how it's been handled.
It should probably be done on the sooner rather than later side.
That's why I said this evening.
Bit of undercover work.
I do like the idea of casting a wider net, but also just our time here with Goldpike, how invaluable it is for us all to be present, because there's something said that I never would have perceived on my own, that you guys thought of, is what I'm saying.
Right.
There's angles that having us all together, there are strengths to that as well. I'm okay with either. I'm just pointing that out.
I think we should all go to the council. Maybe
Okay.
we don't all
Go to
go
the
see
bar.
the husband or the bar.
Sure.
We can split.
All right.
Hopefully we'll find something here that gives us an idea of what our next step should be.
All right. To the council then.
To the council.
to the council.
To the council.
We'll utilize our first time.
Oh, wow.
You guys find yourselves at the steps of the council office. Wow. And as far as its surroundings go, it's located, rather centrally in the town. But some of the surrounding buildings look more worn in, weathered, with time, having been here a very long time, long established. But the council building, not necessarily that it's not old, but it's held up quite well. It's made mostly of kind of stone marble mixture. There's a wide fence surrounding the perimeter. There's a couple of sort of rectangular shaped gardens that flank either side of the cobblestone path leading up to the steps. It's not flashy, but it's regal in its own kind of small town way. As you look to the front, you can see the double doors are open. Seems business hours are over. There's a few people milling about inside. Someone sitting at a desk there in the inside. A couple larger windows off to the left and right that you can see someone sort of putting something in a drawer and moving. So there are people working in and about. You're not exactly sure if they're council members or just other staff members here at the office. But you're all at the steps here. You found your way here. You take a look around before.
Now, are we all making ourselves aware that we are of the same division? I feel we probably should, but don't know if
I think
someone wants to go undercover.
Well, I think with the connections that they're going to have to Officer Foley or Major Foley, Mr. Foley, Major Foley, we probably wouldn't be able to
yes.
really get away with lying about it.
All right. Let's go inquire. Head up the steps.
So the steps there, and someone at the desk kind of looks up. Hello, is there something I can do for you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're on OEI business.
Oh.
We are looking into the...
Are you here with Detective Goldpipe?
We are not. We are sent post his investigation to see if us as Six, as a specialized unit, can come up with any new investigative things.
Oh, all right.
We're here to, as you may have already pointed out, we're here for Deshi Perim's case.
Yes, I assume so.
We would like to look at a couple files or handwriting papers of Miss Deshi Perim, or did she have any aides that work for her?
She had 2, yes, and we have quite a few of her writings that you're welcome to compare against whatever you're looking at.
Are her aides here at the moment?
One of them is Callie Gallagher.
Oh, could we speak with her?
Yes, she's in the back area.
All right. Perhaps, while a few of us look over the handwriting, a couple of people can go talk to Miss Gallagher.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind, if you have the time, if you could just help collect some samples of Miss Perim's writing and anything that the aides would have.
Yes, we have some donation records, and we have some forms that Miss Perim was required to fill out when she announced her candidacy.
That would be excellent. And then, is there a workspace that we could, a surface somewhere that we could compare things?
Fantastic.
I'd rather not give you the space of someone who's working inside, but you're welcome to take a look here.
All right.
Can we get the name of the other aide?
Yes. The other aide is Gianni Sherman.
So
I'll get the writings, and
Oh, yes.
the others can speak with Callie in the back room.
Thank you. Callie, anyone?
Sure.
Bete and I? I'll accompany you.
3 of you head to the back to speak with Callie there. So we'll stick with the 3 of you here at the moment.
All right.
The person at the desk goes and they sort of take out and they sort through a couple forms. Here's a list of donations that were declared by Ms. Perim, and here is a declaration of candidacy.
Right.
And then I believe we also have a couple standard forms. Once she was officially elected, she had to sign a couple of forms declaring her intent to serve with honor and dignity. And she does that as well.
All right.
I think the first thing I would do is just immediately scanning them, looking at particularly things like the W's, the M's, some of the more complicated letters that have more opportunities for flourishes.
Sure.
Before I go,
That's exactly how I was phrasing it in my head.
Yeah.
How you finished that sentence.
Opportunities for
flourishes. That's literally how I was like, oh, like opportunities
Before
for
I
flourishes.
go.
I was fucking
Well, yes.
That's crazy.
Before I leave, I like to just give Nigel a slap on the back and give him guidance.
Okay.
And that has to be for a specific thing, right? That has to be for it
like
can't be overall now. It's like for one skill, I think.
Yeah, 2024 they tried to make it a little more.
Choose a skill until the spell ends. You had one.
What would this reasonably investigation?
Yeah, investigation is studying and.
Unless you wanted a different skill, unless you're planning
The
to
only
do
other thing it could
acrobatics or something.
The only thing,
Yes.
I think the only thing it could be would be like calligrapher's supplies checks maybe.
I think it has to be a skill
It has to be a
check.
skill.
Has to be a skill check
Specifically,
specifically,
yeah.
then investigation.
Investigation.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll give you that.
Before you leave, feel a little touch of guidance. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh boy. Can I?
So
help
that is
him?
just with advantage.
I
already got advantage.
I-
Mostly.
No, 1d4.
Guidance
added.
is a
Oh, it's a
D4,
D4.
yeah.
Fraud.
Get it.
Okay, it's 7 and then 4 on the guidance for 11, so that's going to be 19 investigation.
19. As you pour over the forms, there's a couple of things that you discern. First of all, looking at some of the flourishes as you describe them, these handwritings do not appear to be the same right off the bat. Like, if it's the same hand, someone was intentionally writing in a different way. The other thing that you notice, though, is that the hand that wrote the letter, which you were able to study before you got here, the one that wrote the letter to the transit service, has a little bit of flair or schooling and precision to it. It doesn't look sort of a rough hand. So someone who at least, somebody with some decent penmanship for whatever that might mean, whether that's a little bit of schooling or a little bit of someone who does write a lot of forms or something. Like, it has a little bit of clarity and precision to it. And looking at it, even Deshi Perim's is a little rougher than the one that's in your hand. Like, she has, a little less need for sort of calligraphic touch.
Would I be able to tell by the strokes if this appeared to be like a left or a right-handed person?
I'm gonna say with a 19 that you can't quite tell that. The writing's a little
There's
old.
no smudge of a hand going running through it.
I'd also like to see if could just compare the paper type, because it said it was official council paper, and just see if there's any slight differences between what.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
And forgive me, was you comparing them just against Deshi's writings or the aids as well?
She gave you Deshi's first, but you're welcome to grab
the others are still
Yep,
coming.
you can. Give me an investigation for that as well.
10.
Separately. 10. Sorry, you were asking about the
papers, yeah.
It appears the same. It has like a little bit of a kind of watermark built sort of in the paper, and they're neither of them are really new pieces of paper, so they're a little faded, but they look the same. It looks like official council stationery.
With the guidance, that's a 28.
28. As you look over the aids, none of the ones that she provides you examples of appear to be this. No one that she gives you writings from both of the aids, both of Deshi's aids.
Named aids.
Yep. As well as there's some other writing that on the form where Deshi had to declare her sort of intent to serve with honor, there's signatures from other council members. And from the writings that's on theirs, those don't seem to match either.
So all the council members.
Yep, and her aides, certainly those two aides of Deshi.
Or not what wrote this.
Yeah. So I was able to
pretty clearly a
Pretty
different
certain way.
hand, unless someone intentionally, it sort of forged or.
But
wrote.
even that would show a little
Perhaps, yeah. I mean.
Did any of them seem to be able to write in as elevated a style as this, or do they all seem a little rougher than this person?
No, several of the council members, in fact, probably most of them, have a pretty precise sort of schooled hand in writing.
Pardon me.
Yes.
Who all has access to this stationery? Is it solely for people who are on the city council, or?
For the council, and their aides are permitted to use their offices.
Would anybody from any of the other boards, let's say the Treasury Board or anything, would any of them have access to this stationery?
Only if they were invited in by a council member. And in doing so, they would have to receive permission to use the paper.
But
Is
it's
there-
not under lock and key.
No, I suppose not.
Is there any sort of record of times when people have been allowed to use stationery other than the council members?
There isn't a sign in or sign out for the stationery itself. The council members do. If you're not with one of the council members, or have sufficient law enforcement reason for being here, we don't just let anyone through the front door.
Is there a sign in and sign out for council member meetings that they hold?
No, not for the council members themselves. We know them all by sight.
Right. No, I mean, if someone were to book a meeting to meet with them, would they have to sign in or out?
They would if the council member was not present with them when they came in.
Is there anywhere that is written their meeting schedules, who they met with on certain days?
There is. Those books are going to be. There'll be a lot to pour through. You understand, there was a recent election.
Yes.
A lot of the candidates came in and out of the offices. Some of their donors came in and out of the offices.
Right.
I mean, dozens of names.
Right.
Would it be possible to just see, for maybe the week leading up to the fundraiser, where Miss Perim disappeared?
Or even the 48 hours, I think, before.
Well, just to be safe. I've got nothing but time.
We could cross-reference the names that we have.
And you're just looking for who came in and out during that time.
Yes, if they had to sign their names at all in any capacity, if I could see that list of signatures.
Yes, of course. You can see that that's like a little tedious, but
Yeah.
acquiesces, goes to get a couple of the records. We're gonna go.
Alchemy. It was a lady that we were speaking to?
Yeah, it was.
To
Cade,
the office of Kelly Gelly.
Cade gives her like a wink and a thank you as she leaves. Like, thanks.
Oh,
Give me a charisma check.
Oh, baby!
First seduction of the game.
Okay, what do I have on this?
Straight charisma.
Oh, straight
wait,
charisma.
David
This
should
big
be
0. Here we go.
Sexy in his strengths.
19, natural 19.
Wow.
Oh.
You made her weak.
That's a 20 to 19 for me today. Yes.
We turn over to the back office where you find someone who's sort of. The first thing you notice is you enter into the room, and this woman, who you assume is Callie because you've been directed to her, is shuffling through some papers. She looks quite solemn, like quite forlorn. She's collecting some things and sort of. Like picking some things up and sort of collecting a few papers and putting them together. She doesn't really hear you as you kind of come in and approach her. If she does, she doesn't think you're there for her. So.
Miss Gallagher?
Yes.
My name is Camille Anders. I'm with the OEI. These are my colleagues.
Okay.
We're here for Councilwoman Perim.
Oh, yes, I think you're looking for Detective Goldpike.
We've spoken with him, and we had a couple of follow-up questions for those who worked closely with her. Do you have a couple of minutes?
I suppose, yes.
We appreciate it. Were you with Councilwoman Perim at the fundraiser?
I was there earlier, but I left.
About what time do you remember leaving?
I suppose, couple of hours after it started, which was around 7 p.m.
Do you have any idea of who Councilwoman Perim was with when you left? Was it a large group, or had most people...
At that point, it was a fairly large event. I understand that some people stayed later. I was not one of them.
And there was still a large group? when you
Yes,
left?
there was quite a few people there when I left. I had some paperwork to finish up for Mrs. Perim here.
How was she as a boss?
She was fine.
Is, I suppose. Is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I was happy to serve her. I believed in her vision for the aqueduct.
How long had you been working for her?
Just as far as she was campaigning. I knew her through her husband. I'd commissioned a few items from him. I sell furniture, or I did. And so I knew her husband, and when she said that she was running, she described to me her vision for the project, and I felt that that was something worth working toward.
What was it about the project that inspired you so much?
I think just it's a time for big action, not for small half measures. And I'd rather try big and fail big than try small and accomplish nothing.
I absolutely agree with that. Do you know how much money was raised at the fundraiser?
They might have a record of it. Several tens of thousands of gold. There were some larger donors there who believed in the project.
And do you know what the overall budget goal raise was?
For the whole aqueduct?
Yes, the whole aqueduct.
I think that estimates of that would vary heavily depending on who you ask, but 50, 60,000 to start. If you asked some of the other candidates, they would say that number was much higher.
And how about her other aide, Gianni Sherman, was it?
Yes.
Was she at the fundraiser as well?
No, I don't think so. Not that I saw.
Do you two typically work together? Is it usually one of you is on, the other is off?
We work and see each other, but we don't work in tandem. She knew Gianni from further back. I think that perhaps they, if not served together, at least shared some military history. I don't have such a background.
Do you know her husband very well?
Yes, like I said, I would get timber from him.
Oh, yes, sorry.
With regularity for my furniture.
Do they seem like a close pair?
Yes.
Was he also in the military, do you know?
Not exactly. He was contracted, I guess you would say. He would build barricades, larger siege weaponry. He wasn't actually in active service, but peripherally related, I suppose you could say.
Do you know when Gianni is next going to be here?
Probably tomorrow morning. I think she has to pick up some of her things.
Is she's no longer working here?
I think we're slowly in the process of coming to terms with what's happened. So I think she's probably moving on to other pursuits.
And how about you, Kelly?
I think the same, but still holding out a bit of hope, I suppose.
So are we. That's why we're here.
Thank you.
The other 5 victims, I don't know if you know the names off the top of your head. Did you know any of them?
I'd heard the names while the investigation was going on, and maybe I'd heard some of them, but nobody that I was close to or friends with.
Kelly, this is probably a pretty obvious question, but did Councilwoman Perim have any clear enemies other than her political rivals? Did anyone ever send her unpleasant messages? Anyone more from her personal life that we should be aware of?
Not that I know. The political attacks got personal during the campaign. I'm sure that you've heard about that. But outside of that, I know that some people aren't as keen on the military history of the 11th Division, which she served in, the 11th Garrison, I'm sorry. They were a combat unit.
Mm-hmm.
And combat units come with sometimes controversial aspects. I'll not slander Ms. Perim, but I know that some people feel that hardline tactics are not always the way to go, but sometimes you need a strong hand.
Do you recall the beverages at the event, the fundraiser? Was Miss Perim partaking, in a
Yes,
decent...
everyone was drinking wine, mostly, I think.
And how was the general mood of the fundraiser? You were there a couple of hours, you said?
Yes,
Or
I
what did you
would
notice?
say quite good. There was a moment where Mrs. Perim addressed the crowd to make a short speech, and during that time, someone interrupted, shouting. Someone that I guess was known as someone who opposed Mrs. Perim's policies. The security actually moved to eject the person from the event, but Mrs. Perim said, no, he can stay. And that she welcomed dissenting voices.
Did that person stay?
They did, yes. They were told and kept an eye on by security and
Was
told
that
to be quiet.
Junior Santos?
That sounds familiar.
No. Were you aware of what her plans were for the evening? That she was going to take a carriage home, or had she spoken with you at all about that?
Not with me, but later, during the investigation, I learned of the mix-up with the carriage service, and I knew that Mrs. Perim would be staying later to have drinks with her friend after the main part of the fundraiser was over.
But you had no knowledge that she changed her pickup plans?
No, I didn't.
Did anybody else know of her schedule for that evening? Not leaving directly after the fundraiser had come to an end?
I suppose maybe some of the other people who were staying late at the fundraiser, and her husband.
Was it reflected in her date book or anything?
No. She said that she had made arrangements to leave the fundraiser and that we were not needed to arrange that for her.
Had she said anything about planning to stay later, actually? Did she mention at any point that her timing had changed?
Not changed, but when she spoke of the fundraiser, she told me that I was free to leave whenever I wanted because she knew she would be staying late and that I was not obligated to stay.
In regards to the note, do you mind?
Not at all.
In regards to the note that was sent to the Buckley's carriage ride service, who has access to that kind of parchment in this office, in this building?
Well, officially, only council members and their aides. But she walks over. It's not locked away. We don't get a lot of people looking to steal stationery. As long as you had a reason to get through the door and you weren't seen taking it, I suppose it's possible someone else could have taken it.
Does a council person or their aides take any home?
I haven't, but I suppose yes. I don't think that anyone would stop them from doing so.
Is there any way of verifying the legitimacy of the paper? Do you use illusory script or anything
Yes,
like that? Yeah.
the watermark is illusory script.
Okay.
Yes. And from what I understand, Detective Goldpike checked to see, and it is in fact legitimate stationery from this office.
Did anybody leave the office's employ shortly after all of the murders had taken place?
No, I wouldn't say so. A lot of the candidates were coming in and out of these offices during the election, and I suppose roughly around that time, the spaces that they had set up, they collected their things and took them away because they were no longer in the running.
So council people that were running for office were also stationed here to do their day-to-day dealings?
Not council people, but people running for council office. Yes, they were permitted a space here, let in by other council members to get a lay of the land. Mrs. Perim was as well. We had a small corner that we were allowed to set up in for the purposes of the election.
And nobody left disgruntled, any kinds of employees?
I suppose everyone who worked for one of the other candidates may have left somewhat disgruntled. Really should get back.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, of course. Goes back to putting something. As she's kind of putting things away, she, not in a like furtive or like sneaky way, but she does occasionally sort of, again, this constant sort of curiosity at why the OEI has bothered to sort of follow up on this in particular, getting a lot of that sentiment. Head back over.
Oh my god.
The records have been brought out for the days leading up to the night of the disappearance. You guys are pouring through them. I'm gonna have all of you make investigation checks.
All right. I haven't rolled above like a 6 tonight.
Yeah, come on, boy.
You're due, baby.
Can I give myself a bardic inspiration?
You knew you were going to look through, so yes, I would say you can if you're willing to spend the bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
23.
You have to take the reroll.
No,
It's not a
just
reroll.
it's a
You
plus
can
and
add to it if he wants to.
What did you get?
23.
I'm gonna use it just because.
Hey,
If you want to bardic me.
Alright, it's a 21.
Never doing that again.
Yeah, it's a 21.
So, describe to me specifically kind of what you're looking for. Just names? Like, what about these records? Because there's a lot of names here of people coming and going from the
I
office.
think, but before the start, I think probably what I would have said is like, you check the list for any names of people that we have heard about, that we have like on our list. Anybody that we've heard that could be connected to this case.
I'd probably do that, and then
Look for
also look at if there's any repeat names to certain people or something like that, like multiple people checking in.
And then I'm gonna be just kind of like, I want to check kind of those complicated, those kind of like flare, any of the larger, more elaborate letters in there, and just trying to cross check any of those against kind of the profile that I've gotten off of this letter.
Okay.
Just try to see if anybody matches.
Okay. These are quick. Most of these, I'm going to say, even with a 23, it falls a little short of being certain on that because it's not like a whole written note. It's mostly a signature and a date and time. So harder to like look at the two and say this handwriting looks exactly like this. Not that you can't sort of get a little bit, but with a lower degree of certainty. The names that pop up over and over again are not unlike what you just heard from Callie. The former candidates and their aides. It seems like each of them had a couple of people working for them that were coming in here possibly to pack up their things or move stuff out of the offices. A couple times they were signed in, by other members of the council that were like allowing them to kind of come in and get their things after the fact. And then the other name that comes up sometimes is Buckley, the transit service guy. Which, may or may not be unusual if he was hired to, transport some of the council members to and from places that wouldn't.
And even before, like the night before, if it's all dated, before the
disappearance, the fundraiser. Yep.
There's no other names that also show up multiple times for certain candidates. It's mostly just their aides and
the candidates themselves. In fact, the night before, none of the candidates themselves, but at least one of the aides from all three of the other candidates came in the night before to presumably to maybe get rid of some of the stuff or whatever.
Okay. Is her widow's name pretty absent, or is it
the husband's name?
Yeah.
He's not on the records at all.
Like not.
Yeah.
Does anybody on this list seem to have particularly good or particularly bad penmanship? Like, would I be able to write off like, oh, this guy can barely write, so I'm just not even going to consider him?
Yeah, the one aide to Thistle is a very crude hand, like not even really a signature, like mostly just a pen
Chicken
name.
scratch.
Yeah, kind of. So that immediately wouldn't even be considered as a possible.
There's dates attached to these, but there's not like times.
Just dates. Just dates.
Does Buckley have good handwriting?
For a working stiff, like maybe certainly not a lot of like flair and calligraphy penmanship, but decent handwriting for someone who doesn't do that for a job necessarily. But presumably he keeps records of the people who are renting his carriages.
Is Talamonte on there at all? Has Talamonte come in? I guess he has one of the other candidates.
He has, not that day before the fundraiser, like you were looking, just his aides, but he was in there several days, in multiple days prior. He came in and out a couple times.
How's his hand?
Quite nice.
Quite nice.
Yes. Clearly an educated, lettered man.
With the forgery kit proficiency, is there any way that I can also try to learn how to mimic some of these candidates?
You would be doing so in the presence of the person standing there with you, if that's okay with you.
Oh, hey.
I'll practice writing in their hand, and if I see her, does she give any look of like?
Yeah, she's like filling out some forms, but occasionally she'll look up to like just check in with you guys as you've been poring over the names, and as you sort of take that out and you start to write, you just see some.
Sorry, I can get it further in my mind if I know how they write. If I see this writing at a further time, I won't have to re-inquire with you to look at any new writing. I can now know exactly what they wrote like.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Please,
don't biff it, yo.
That's what you're good at.
Yeah. Dude, I can't roll tonight.
I don't like that die. That die's giving some funky energy.
Do you need a tray?
Persuasion? No, I'm okay. It's my strongest thing, so it's still a 15 plus 10.
Just for the sake of propriety, I'd rather you didn't. And if you have to come back and take a look, I'm happy to provide it for you again.
Sure, I understand. Would it be easier for you next time if we let you know we're coming so we can have a private workspace?
Sure, that would be fine.
Understood. I'll wrap
Put the kit away there.
Yeah.
Thistle and Timber, the other two candidates, do both of them seem fairly crude in comparison?
Yeah, certainly compared to Jome, Talamonte, much less.
So if I was gonna pursue anybody here, Jome's got the.
Kimber has a couple aides who have some, decent. Again, it's really rough because they're signatures, but clearly people who at least had some training and practice in penmanship, but yeah. But yes, I mean, Talamonte is a step above the others in terms of clearly a man who's done a lot of, writing, a lot of record keeping and stuff.
I've been sorry. I'm kind of addressing that earlier. I've been trying to get myself in the headspace of what it was like around here at that time. I mean, disappearances, a few brutal murders.
Yes, the town was quite shaken. We don't get a lot of that in Hamburg.
Were you scared?
Yes.
Did you lock your doors?
People took a lot of precautions that they wouldn't normally take. People were walking home with friends and partners. And people were making sure that someone had eyes on them.
Do you have someone?
No.
Must have been scary, being on your own.
It was. There's another person who works here who has a home on a similar route, and we would walk home together.
That's very nice.
Yes. And at this moment, the others join you from having talked to Callie there.
You know what?
They still like nose in the books, kind of.
Can I
flipping.
run back real quick for one final question? Sure.
Boy.
She's sprinting in. What's the matter? What did you find?
I found her. Kelly, I apologize. This does happen sometimes when we're questioning. Something comes to mind.
That's okay.
When you left the fundraiser,
Yes.
how did you head back, and where did you head back to? Did you go straight home?
I did not. I walked back to the center of town and had a drink with a friend at a local tavern.
What's your friend's name, Kelly?
My friend's name is Trip.
Trip?
Yes.
Last name?
Chambers.
And what tavern was this?
Just the watering hole by the right by the transit service. There's one right across the street.
Great. Thanks so much, Kelly.
Sure. Give me a insight check.
I will. I shall. I was gonna put guidance on myself, but 22.
22. You get some nervous tension from her, and not in a like, oh god, I just lied. I hope she. But in a like, the fact that you came back, like she feels like the sense that you get is almost like, oh my god, was there something relevant to the investigation that I didn't tell them? Like, not even on purpose. Like, was there something that I could have told the investigators that I didn't, simply because I didn't think to tell them? It's like, you see a little bit of like gears turning, wide-eyed, kind of, spinning her wheels.
Kelly, you've done a great job. Anything more comes to mind? Talk to Agent, is it Agent Foley?
Major Foley.
Major Foley. He'll relay it back to us. But you've been really helpful. We appreciate it.
Okay. Head back into the main room where the rest of you are meeting back together.
Anything?
Well,
Is there a pattern to the... well, the last thing I can think of to check here. Is there a pattern to, like, is it like all the candidates seem to be checking in on, like, the same day?
There's some similarity in check-ins in the wake of the closing of the elections, because like they knew they had lost. They came in several in the days after that. They came in a couple times.
Okay, but there's no. I'm just trying to think if there's like some irregularity.
Not that's
but I don't have
immediately
anything particular
discernible.
to-
Yeah.
If you look at the first letter of their names, then you go straight down the list.
The game. I didn't have a great check, but not to remember.
No, I kind of lumped them all together.
Okay.
But,
I guess in any of the like repeated ones in the lead up, do they all the ones that are the same? Do they all kind of match really well?
explain that.
So if the aides are showing up every day and the candidates are showing up every day, is there like maybe a date out of sequence or a weekend or something where it's the same name, but the handwriting is slightly different in between one day and another of the same name?
Too hard to discern that.
Okay.
If you're looking at like a
people are doing it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
All right. Damn.
Just trying to see if anyone has like a schizophrenic hand or something like that.
Well, if it seemed like anybody had like
Signed
been
the name
signing
of
for
someone
somebody else.
Signing-
where it's
yeah.
like,
That's
yes.
oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were making fun of me.
No, I was
Yeah,
no,
no.
I was. Like,
I was
sometimes-
I was trying to find
No,
forgeries.
sometimes
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that happens. Your handwriting changes.
Oh, I'm so mad at somebody today.
Any chance anything matched up?
Well, I think we can confirm that this handwriting doesn't match anybody who is on the council or any of their aides.
And
All of their
certainly
aides,
not.
that all seems clear.
Certainly not. Deshi herself is the main one.
The peculiar thing.
The good news of that is, of course, if we figure out who wrote it, then we are massively ahead.
And I would be less confident about the people who only had signatures.
Yes, because I think we managed to get like more significant writings of the or did we only get signatures of the other council members? And stuff?
No, you have signatures of like the prospective, like the people running in the election and their aides. It's just you only have their names.
Right, but
And
I
the-
mean,
We only
for-
got the aides and Deshi, like full things written by them. Those,
That's what I was wondering. Is like, okay, so we did only get signatures for the other council members. We didn't get more significant writings of the other council members.
And are you talking about the council members or the?
The council members, not the candidates.
It's not the candidates.
Yeah, the
Yes,
candidates,
yes.
no.
There's lots of writings of the council members if you sort of quickly peruse some of the writings like around, and you could say very to reasonably confident that none of the council members matched the letter, but less so about the other candidates and their aides because they only had names that they scribbled.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, so the council is not in that camp of people we only had signatures for.
yes.
So,
yes,
yeah.
you had more than just signatures for actual
Council members
So-
and her and for
Deshi
aides.
and her aides, all the handwriting. You're
Yeah.
reasonably confident that that handwriting is not the same.
Now, something that is, I think, notable. Very few people in this town seem to have handwriting as educated and as flowery as
Loquacious.
this. Yes,
That's
loquacious as well. Well, loquacious is more about vocabulary. It doesn't matter. So I think we're.
I don't even know what it means. It sounded like handwriting.
When it comes to the other candidates in particular, the Jome is the only person who really had sort of a fancier hand, but I don't have enough writing to really make sure whether or not, to really check whether or not it matches their whole script. However, they do seem to write better than Thistle or Kimber.
Well, you've done more with that stationery than we were able to. It seems like everybody in their aid has access to it.
Oh, for real.
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
Real.
That's my phrase I say a lot. That's for real.
That's my catchphrase now. And I appreciate it.
Everybody.
I would love to go to Buckley's to follow
right.
this line.
So, the aides and the candidates, they have a lot of the stationery just floating around.
Yes, it's not guarded in any way. I don't see why it would be, but anybody could just grab a pile of it.
I think if we were to pursue this thread, finding a more significant portion of Jome's writing would be helpful. With them being on the Treasury Board, is there somewhere that they would be meeting where it'd be possible to find their? Clearly, apparently, they're not writing at City Hall as much. But would there be? I guess the thing, would there be like a? Would they have their own stationery with things that they're writing if they're on the Treasury Board?
I mean, he might like write records as a member of the Treasury Board, but they don't have stationery like the.
They don't have stationery.
They don't have watermark stationery like the council does.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but like I guess what I'm trying to say is like if they wrote trying to get a writing sample from Jome, would that be at City Hall or would they have a different?
There's a Treasury building.
There's a Treasury building.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a
I
bank
think-
and treasury.
I think following it up with the Treasury building, if Jome doesn't match, then I think it's safe to say that none of the candidates actually match this handwriting either.
Would there be, with what you're saying with the parchment, if we understood the locations of each of these candidates, I do have the ability to ritually cast a locate object if we find their homes and multiple homes don't have any of that parchment with them. but one home does have some parchment showing up at their place. Would that be something to follow up on?
Could you search for specifically the parchment with this illusory script on it?
I
All of the
believe it's-
parchment has illusory script on it.
I believe
Well, that's what I mean, but...
if we're far enough away from here,
could you-
right,
yes, but-
identify if there's this pile of this paper in someone else's home.
So you think you could search for parchment that has this illusory script, but it would not pick up on regular parchment?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you would be able to, having seen that watermark up close, you'd be able to say, I'm looking for watermarked parchment. You would be able to.
Yes.
That's a very... I think that has a lot of potential.
Could test some homes. And
So some of us go to the treasury, and some of us head towards Buckley's.
I would need this just long enough. Oh, you don't need this to do the locate object. Now
No,
that you've seen
now
it.
that I've seen it.
Okay, well, if I could take this to the treasury, and then you could get searching.
What is the...
Perhaps.
Go ahead.
I'd say be careful about going to house and trying to locate object.
I mean, it's quite a wide range. I don't have to be right next to the home, just far enough away from where I think there might be some parchment.
How far is your reach?
It's only about 1,000 feet.
Well, you
a
don't
couple
need-
blocks at most.
Well, so you wouldn't need to get up on their porch or anything. You
I could find somewhere maybe a
walk
bit
down the street.
inconspicuous. I would be mumbling to myself and doing some finger motions, so maybe I'll find somewhere else for 10 minutes.
And it doesn't sort of, just to clarify the use of it doesn't like light, it doesn't light the object up like a detect magic would. You like sense a direction.
Yeah.
And if there was multiple watermark parchments within that range, I mean, it's not an enormous range, 1,000 feet, you would get like a couple
readings.
sensors. Yeah, a couple.
It could be something.
Being able to do it under the radar I like that.
Yeah. And I can do it as many times as we need. It just takes me about 10 minutes per cast.
Beat. Yes, I had my hand up. Thank you. I would also like to verbalize that the reason why I liked the stationary so much at first was because I thought it would narrow our scope of possible suspects. However, it seems to have only widened. So, keeping that sort of mentality in mind, it seems like the narrow scope is coming from who knew Deshi's schedule when leaving the fundraiser. We've asked several people at this point, and they all say that most likely it's only maybe her aides, the other people present at the fundraiser, and her husband. I know how we feel about the husband already, so we can just keep that
I like
name
husbands.
highlighted on the board.
I want to know what he's found since then.
However, I would also like... It seems in the file that we've really overlooked the 11th Garrison as a group of possible people to at least
They would have the
question and
ability.
consider.
They would have the ability to probably kill a normal citizen fairly easily.
Yes, and one of her aides, though maybe not 11th Garrison, was at least a former military friend.
Well, that, you may be onto something, but that is a tiptoe situation, I think
Why?
you might realize. Military, I mean, they are a tight-knit group, first of all, and they are very well respected in these parts.
Not by all, though. One of the aides told us that there are some people who find it a pretty controversial matter.
This particular garrison.
Correct.
All right.
Again, I think makes it a tiptoe situation.
Yeah, might make them even less willing to speak on
It
certain
seems
things.
like it's a delicate. I am curious where we hope to go with the handwriting.
Well,
I think at this point, and I'll get your second opinion on this because you were talking about it being widened or narrowing. Would it help at all if any of these candidates' homes, if one home was like, there are quite a few pieces of paper within this person's home where no one else's home had this special parchment, does that help us at all? Is this worth me trying?
I'm not particularly certain that a person this smart would grab a stack of papers when they only need one.
Also, if they're aware of the Speak with Dead spell to remove jaws, I don't know why they would hold on to papers to...
I think another.
Talked yourself right out, didn't you?
Well, I think.
Didn't you?
This is a great idea.
Look, I'll play.
I told you, this is not my strong suit. I
Matt,
talk to people.
the papers
Thank you.
are they on a pad? Like it's just a stack of papers.
Yep. They don't have the post-it adhesive.
The post-it lumens. I do think the handwriting is a slippery slope, right? Because if we're looking for someone whose handwriting matches the note, then we're looking for a real dumbass, right? And this person seems to have been pretty tricky to find, right? They're not going to pen this note in their own hand. So then it seems like we're looking for somebody who would have the ability to mimic this handwriting.
I suppose.
But it sounds like you've seen quite a few signatures, at least, where someone had the technical ability to create a different signature. I'm not saying this murderer wasn't a dumbass, but it seems logically that if someone were to write this note, they would not have penned it in their own hand.
Well,
it's a pretty specific script, though. Someone needed to have skill to do that.
Yes, I think the main thing is, if they were thinking ahead, what I would have done, had I great penmanship like this, I would have made it worse. However, this is pretty good.
I
In fact,
wonder.
this is far better than Miss Perim's herself. If you can't write well, you can't
Mimic
fake good handwriting.
So did you see any signatures that looked laughably bad?
A lot.
Yes.
Many.
I don't think it's a bad idea or a waste of time necessarily to follow up on the handwriting. I just think we should split up.
We did learn.
I just don't want.
I don't want to be with you.
I still want to.
I don't want to be with all of you.
I could do this very quickly on my own. I really only need to compare it to one person. Suppose maybe the rest of the Treasury Board while I'm there. But
We've at
I
least
think
learned.
what this done is this. It at least is not clearly matching any council people.
Exactly.
It's definitely not on the up and up. This definitely was not Miss Perim. This definitely was not any of her aides.
That you can say pretty definitively.
Do we really think whoever wrote it in their own hand?
There is no their own hand because
It
there's
is-
no name on it.
It's possible that they thought about it. It's possible they didn't. I think due diligence. We at least need to check with Jomei. It doesn't completely clear them, but on the off chance that they did not try to hide it, for whatever reason, then we might be able to catch them with this.
A lot of people who have nice handwriting are pretty smug about it.
Yes. This seems like a fairly smug person.
And you said that this has been.
It smells.
Yeah. This paper was checked by Goldpike too, like the legitimacy of this parchment.
Yeah, he would have certainly. He
Kelly
probably would
wasn't
have
making
confirmed.
that up. It does
Yes.
have illusory script.
Yes, that would have been confirmed. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing in his notes about checking the handwriting, though.
Did Major
He
Foley?
probably did. I mean, even if you check with some, you might not check with all.
Yeah.
Major Foley said that it was really late we deduced that from that conversation that it was really late that the letter was dropped off.
Or really early.
Or
it was
really
it was
early, yeah.
dropped off sometime between when the transit service closed
Yeah.
the previous day and when they opened the previous morning.
The
Okay.
day
Yeah.
The
Of
day
the
of.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
the fundraiser.
Yeah.
I would really like to see if there's anyone who lives nearby
That's-
Buckley's and see if anybody saw anything.
I would be happy to join you on that.
Right.
All right.
I could come over.
People heading to Buckley's.
Well, I think I'm
The
set for the Treasury.
Then I am also set for the treasury if you're going to Buckley's.
Yep, I want to check in with some people in the surrounding areas.
Bete,
These are both excellent options.
come with us to the treasury, Bete. It's only 2.
Invitation accepted.
3 and 3.
I'll miss you, Bete.
For the first time, the group splits up for a little bit of 3-on-3 checking. Well, I guess you split up in the offices, but sort of more directly over the town. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Yeah, 10:30 already. A thorough investigation of the time flies by. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm loving it.
Oh my god.
No,
hating Matt.
but no, but the you know, it's going to be a different kind of campaign where there's going to be a lot of this up front and then maybe a lot of spirals into a lot of action. So it'll be a
Yeah.
kind of slow and then go and then slow and then go. So.
Oh, I plan on starting a few fights on the way to the Buckley's.
We're gonna
It's like,
punch Buckley.
you looking at
But no, you guys,
Bryce
you guys
Buckley?
are very thorough. Your questioning of Major Foley was great. You guys had a lot of good questions for him, and you could add.
Did we get an A? Would you give us an A?
I'll give you a letter grade at the end of your assignment.
Ooh,
Just like
That's good.
It's like a phoenix, right?
Just like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Yes. yes.
Oh,
and I'm nervous.
I can't believe it's 10:30.
I know.
That's
I
crazy.
fear how.
I think we failed the escape room. It's been 3 hours.
Yeah.
They're still in here.
It'd be wild.
Great job.
So many no's.
God. Yeah, people in chat are putting in theories. Go to our Discord.
theory it
join
up.
the newest discussion channel for this campaign. We'll be able to talk without spoiler worries about our latest theories.
Yeah. Do theorize away. You know, give thoughts. There's You know, we had felt like we eliminated some people, but also some possible theories as to why they weren't eliminated, if the handwriting was forged. But yeah, we'll pick it up next week right there with everybody heading to a couple different spots. More in Humber next week on Bloody Be the Turnips.